to you and welcome back to Sky Sports coverage of the Schick 3x3 Cup for 2022. We are all set up and ready to go at the wonderful ILT Stadium Southland here in Invercargill for day 3 of action. We are halfway through this behemoth of a 3x3 tournament and approaching the pointy end. In fact, we will start knockout competition today, but this morning from 11 o'clock up until around about 1:30, we've got to finish off the pool play and rank some teams and see who plays who. Hugh Baden here alongside James Lisserman. Our pleasure to bring you the action on Court 1 in the early session and on Sky Sports 1, and over on Sky Sports 2, Court 2 with Justin Nelson and Casey Frank. Tipping it off for us, James. We got the Whai against the Saints in the men's competition. An absolute ripper to tip things off today. Ty Wynyard against Darnay Samuel, which is going to be a fantastic matchup.
Oh, well, the Whai, they get the win here. They're number 1 in Pool A if that goes according to plan. But the Saints, probably one of the most motivated teams here, as they had a day 1 to forget, we'll say, and then day 2 really sort of lived up to what everyone thought their potential would be. So, as you say, this should be like a very, very good matchup between two teams that you expect to be competing for the Schick 3x3 Cup tomorrow.
And here come the Saints, and they'll have a wee warm-up with the Whai. One of the great things about 3x3, the teams warm up together before they do battle. We might have a look at the ladders so far as we enter day 3 of competition. Men's Pool A, you see the Whai 5-1, the Saints 2-4. So the Whai looking to cement their spot at the top of the standings ahead of the playoffs, which begin this afternoon. The Nuggets right up there with them at 5-1. In men's Pool B, the Rams, the only unbeaten team left in the men's competition, and Pouakai Pacifica, the only team yet to get a win. That could all change today, as there'll be a lot of movement to happen in the middle of that pool over the next 4 or 5 hours. Of course, on each quarter goes men's game, women's game throughout the whole competition. The Otago Gold Rush, a somewhat surprising front runner at this point. 5-1, playing some great 3x3 basketball. The Dream with a shock loss to Pouakai yesterday, who got their first 2 wins, the Pouakai Pacifica side yesterday, which was fantastic. So the Dream 4-2, the Thunder 4-2, alongside the Breeze, who won all 3 games yesterday in Pool A. Now over in Pool B, the Kahu, the only undefeated team left in the women's side of things, and an absolute thrilling matchup, which we get lucky enough to call just after 12 o'clock, James, on Court 1 here between the Kahu and the Pouakai. A bit of sister against sister action with Chevy Parvas taking on Tessa Boagni, which will be 2 of the more decorated players going against each other. So really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that one will decide which is the team which will finish first in that poll as well.
Here's the leaders' point scorers so far for the men. Ethan Rusbach, not unexpected to be in the top 5, but Ben Hall leading the way for the West Coast Rapids. In fact, 2 of the 4 West Coast Rapids players, alongside Kai Isaac, are in that top 5. Scotty Telfer went off yesterday and won Performer of the Day, and Nico McCulloch, a dab hand at this format of the game and one of the star players here. Over in the women's, Malama Lepepe, who scored over 2/3 of the points for her team the entire competition, really leading Wellington well. Nicole Gleeson has got the greenest of green lights, as does Maya Jones and Tiana Clark, so no surprise to see those 3 in the top 5 for the women's. And the real takeaway, I think, James, just being in and around the camp and the hotel and here with all the players, they're having such a great time.
They are. It's not often that you get to experience this sort of thing as an adult basketball player. Like, there are a couple of teenagers, but for a lot of these players, the last time they will have been around this number of teams in one place would have been high school or maybe under-19 nationals. So, I really get the vibe when everyone's there for breakfast and just people walking in and out and chatting with other teams. I think there may be less of a congeniality feel when it starts being like winner or
these next 2 days.
Exactly, but it's been so cool to see.
Mitch Dance, Ty Wynyard, Tuhirangi Lewis and Zach McKenzie for the Whai. Sione Helu, Kenneth Tuffin, Darnay Samuel, Nathaniel Salmon for the Wellington Saints. And the Saints just a little bit of extra pressure now today, because I saw General Manager Jordan Mills has arrived in the Deep South after not being here for the first 2 days. He's come down, so now they've got to play in front of the boss as well as the public.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, we saw the standings before. They are part of just a log jam with 5 teams all on an identical 2-4 record. So a win here sort of pushes you most likely to the top half in terms of qualification. A loss here means you're going to play a pretty tough pool and pretty tough team in the crossover 16 matchup.
So Kenneth Tuffin will get us underway. And it's Samuel and Wynyard, the 2 big fellas who start on the bench for their respective teams. Inside they go to Nathaniel Salmon. Young Tutuhi Lewis on him. And Salmon gets the first points of day 3.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder which was the player. It's probably Dane Samuel, who still has his warm-up top on. And it may have been a strategic decision from the fire. Like, we want to have Wynyard out there to guard him. So if Samuel's on the bench to start off with, that's where Wynyard's going to be as well.
Foul there, so Wellington go again from the top. Here's Salmon. Fires it back to Helu. Play a lot of basketball in this gym. He's a member of the Southland Sharks. Drives and gets the finish. So an early 2-0 lead for the Saints. Mitch Dance goes to work. Ball fake. Salmon does well to stay with him. And there's Zach McKenzie. Oh, finishing through contact.
Yeah, he got the ball slapped away, but able to just tap it in. But a quick drive and finish from Hilo straight away after that.
Nice
repositioning. He's pretty familiar with these hoops in this court.
Mitch Dance just took it straight away from dropped it off to McKenzie, who cops the foul, gets the hoop, and will head to the Sky Sport line for one more and a chance to tie it up for the Fires. The big fellas make their way off the bench. And this is a matchup I've been looking forward to. There's not many players equipped to match up with Ty Wynyard at this competition. Dane Samuel is one of them. Don Kelman-Poto, another.
Yeah, and the list doesn't go much past that, does it? Just out of bounds here up the top. It'll be a check with 9 seconds on the shot clock still. So there, I thought we were going to see Wynyard. Instead we see McKenzie matched up against Samuel, and he just bullies his way to the bucket, spins off him and scores.
And here's Wynyard looking to do the same to Salmon. Oh, great hand from Nathaniel Salmon. And finds Kenneth Tuffin, who just took a little bit of time to pick the ball off his shoelaces and gets close-hangered by Ty Wynyard.
And Wynyard
almost wanted to stop play because he wanted to ask about that one, if that was a foul.
Well, I think
relatively
the way the
clean
game
from
went,
here.
yeah, 3x3 is no, that's not a foul. And the general rule of thumb for the referees is one-on-one, there's a lot more contact allowed. It's off-ball stuff, which they're especially looking to be aware of and just keep that freedom of movement going on the court.
Tutuhi Lewis drains the 2.
So yeah, the teams are locked in. They're making it hard to take the ball out and clear as a potential steal. It is turned over.
Ty Wynyard almost hits the Jumbotron with that one as he keeps it in bounds. Dance can't finish the play with a 2. Here's Samuel. Doesn't think twice about the 2. Dance with the rebound. Wynyard elevates from the corner. That one doesn't drop.
It's almost like whatever Dane does, if he goes to the rim, Wynyard will go to the rim next. If he shoots a 2, Wynyard will shoot a 2 next.
3x3 Tall Blacks coach Pete Van Hassel in the building as well, arrived this morning, keeping a keen eye on the players. I had an interesting chat with him around some 3x3 tactics as well.
He was one of those people who was 2 screening it yesterday, and he said it was just awesome being able to switch between the 2 courts. Well, had them both going and which one you wanted to focus on most of the time.
McKenzie over to Tuhi Lewis, just 2 left a little bit short. Ball pinballs around in there and eventually ends up in the big mitts of Dane Samuel. What's Dane going to pull out here? A 2 ball.
Yeah, good challenge from McKenzie, just stayed in front of him. So once he lifted up to go up and challenge it, and great relocation to the corner as well, and that is good. Good find, good set, good shot.
Samuel out, straight back in. McKenzie stuck with him the whole way and comes away with the rock. Lewis thought about the 2, said drives. Wynyard backs up beyond the 2-point arc and drains the maximum.
Just a nice couple of plays there for the Whai, offensively and defensively. 4 quick points as they've had some really good movement and speed.
Wynyard over Samuel. Rattles around and drops in for Ty Wynyard. So 11-6, 5-point lead for the Whai over the Saints. No shortage of scoring in this one.
No, we tend to have, like, there haven't been many games that have gone really fast. We see the shot there in the pose from Wynyard as he kept the form held up high. Yeah, there's not many teams where they go on a really quick start and then able to continue that and finish pretty quickly. As Wynyard.
Big hand. And then can he compound the pain? Not this time. Yeah, this is a real battle for every rebound in this game as Dance has left that well short. Lewis looking to save it, but had his foot out of bounds when he got there.
Yeah, I think if it was a hoop hanging from the roof, he might have tried to dive out of there, but just not a whole lot of space to sort of jump and save it there.
That was a hoop hanging from the roof. Ty Wynyard would bring it down within one dunk.
That's the problem with doing that, isn't it?
Samuel, 3 seconds, back to basket. Salmon, I should say, not Samuel.
Yeah, so that's the dribble one. I really like that because it gives, gives the smaller players a chance to be able to defend the post players. It's only 3 seconds they have to hold them for. Because Wynyard can't hit.
Lewis gets the board, looking for a 2 of his own. Bumped by Salmon.
Yeah, I think that was the hold there. That's one of those off-ball freedom of movement ones. Yeah, he was hustling in to try and get that missed shot, and Salmon just grabbed him. So the Whai will have possession again up the top. And it looked like Tuffin was ready for that, I guess, bad screen, good screen action there.
Helu lays out, trying to go for the rebounds. And we'll just wait to see whose ball this is. Well, it looked like it might have come off Zach McKenzie last on the replay. It looks like it will be blue ball. Helu as the Saints get into a set. Samuel's 2 doesn't drop. McKenzie with the board. Dance. That's his last one well short, so Samuel dares him to shoot, and this time he drains the 2 ball. Mitch Dance.
And it's getting close to timeout time for the Saints, I think, as Samuel says, well, we can just score, and then Hilo gets the steal straight away off the attempted clear.
Samuel this time down the lane without Wynyard on him. Zach McKenzie does well with the help D. And Samuel, talking to the ref, leaves Zach McKenzie wide open, and he rattles in a 2 ball. No time for that in 3x3,
no,
is
there isn't. Like you've got to really hope that things turn around if you want to take time to talk to the referees, because that is the worst thing that can happen, a 2-point bucket the other way. Is McKenzie here, he's unhappy about something. I think his foot was out there on the end line when he caught the ball. And now Hamishdale just checking the ball did hit the rim, so it is a full shot clock reset for the Saints here. Down 8 points, but 12 on the shot clock.
Johnny Helu. 3 on the shot clock now as Helu drives high off the glass, and a nice finish with his left hand for Johnny.
He's been able to get past the defenders, hasn't he? And then a good job finishing at the rim as Mitch goes to the rim and finishes on his right.
Tuffin with the much longer McKenzie in front of him. Tough shot from Kenneth Tuffin, and down it goes. Dance looking for 2 of his own. Basket will not count. Offensive foul called on Te Tuhirangi Lewis. So it will be Saints ball as we see Tuffin, hand in face, does not faze him.
Yeah, McKenzie, his body, he's not a massive guy, relatively young, but he is tall. He's 6'8", I think. I saw the size, and you think you're open, and then all of a sudden he puts his arms up. The same as Wynyard, and you just have to shoot so high. You see there, Samuel gets challenged from Wynyard.
Dance, another one for 2. This one doesn't go. Wynyard goes after the rebound. Doesn't shoot with Wynyard in front of him. So I should say Samuel goes after the rebound. Dance picks his pocket. Looks to the bar. Oh, Kenneth Tuffin. Read that like a well-written novel.
Yeah, this is a good matchup, as we thought, between the 2 players here.
Those quick hands of Ty Wynyard doesn't let you gather any rhythm with your dribble. So Dance crossover, trying to bully Salmon out the way, and does just that. Basket counts, and Mitch Dance will shoot 1 more.
Yeah, so there was that small momentum shift in the Saints' favour, but Dance makes this one. It'll be 18-10, and that's going to make life very tough for the Saints, as they'll have one of the tougher crossover round of 16 games. And that's not what you want to have happen if you're looking to try and get a nice comeback win. A missed rebound off a free throw, and Dance gets 2 points.
Just a 1, I think, for Mitchell Dance, that one, as Helu gets 2 for his. So 18-12. Lewis gets Helu to bite, drive, dish, Wynyard from the wing. And the Whai, 1 bucket away. Great 3x3 basketball from young Te Tuhirangi Lewis. And there's a foul there from Wynyard, deliberate one on Johnny Helu.
And he did have a look at the score. Here's that drive, that kick. So Wynyard's third shot from behind the arc that he's hit there. There's the 16 foul, so they do have to be careful, just not to give up another one here, but 1 point away from winning. Actually, to be honest, they can probably afford to foul again. Have enough space here.
In the bonus to Saints, but as you say, it probably doesn't matter with Tuffin missing bunnies doesn't help either, as he gets back on the defensive end. Mitch Dance trying to end it for the fight. Basket does not count. How, says Mitchell Dance.
Yes, well, 3 on 3, 5 on 5, the difference.
A much shorter continuation, almost no continuation.
Yeah, you've got to be going up towards the basket with the ball, otherwise it's an on-the-floor foul. We talked yesterday about teams looking to try and get to 22 points just to give themselves that extra chance of finishing higher than other teams. The FIBA don't actually need to. They just need a win here and they'll lock up the #1 seed from their pool, whether they get to 21. Win with no time left as McKenzie just rips it off Tuffin.
Oh, they look to go inside to beat Ty Wynyard, but the ball over the top of him. So this one will go just a little bit longer. The Saints try and pull off a miracle. Come back from 8 points down.
The good thing is
timeout, Blue. And maybe could have done it a few buckets ago, but why not take it now?
Yeah, there's nothing to lose, is there? You want to try and see, you know, I've seen games where you just think a team just well and truly has it, there's no chance. You hit a 2, you get a quick turnover, another one, and all of a sudden the team that's in the league can freeze up a little bit, and you never know what can happen. And I do like the fact, you know, we very rarely get a buzzer-beating, game-winning shot, but you get so many walk-off winners because it's the first team to 21.
Yeah.
And we had an extremely rare walk-off game winner at the buzzer that also got to 21 yesterday.
Samuel dives, finished. Oh, the Whai happy to give it up, but Samuel misses it anyway. Whai just a bucket away, no matter the bucket. Lewis, a few hesitations, goes down a little bit gingerly. When you thought about it, does take it. Will this be it for the Whai? Had to, as shot clock expires, and just holding foul called on Lewis.
Yeah,
so 2 shots for the Saints.
It will be. So this could be the other thing for the Saints. They could have said, look, we really don't have a great chance to win it, but we're going to play each possession. But for them, the number of points they score is important because the more they can score, the higher up the rankings they can finish if they are in that sort of log jam of tied teams. And you figure with 5 of them tied at the same point, wins and losses, at least 2 or 3 of them are going to be there at the end of the games this morning.
The head-to-head, the first tiebreaker, am I right?
You are, but only between 2 teams. So if there's 3 teams tied, then the next one will be that average point scored or total points against we've all played this. Well, each team will have played the 7 pool games.
This conversation is giving me painful flashbacks to the end of the South NBL season.
I was going to ask you about that. I really felt like that was a labour of love. I felt like it almost was like I'll start doing this because this will be a good thing and I need to know how everything works out, and then got more and more complex, but
11 pages later.
With that.
Referee's just deciding whether that was a foul on the floor or a shooting foul. Foul on the floor. They won't finish the game from the free throw line. Well, not yet anyway. Finding it hard to get that last point, the Whai. Can Winnie do it with his big baby? No, he can't. How about that rebound from Kenneth Tuffin? Climbed above everyone like an AFL player. Come down with that one. 2 ball from Tuffin. Left short. He's going to go get it again and get the putback. So 5-point game. So are we into nervous time for the Whai yet? Probably not just yet. If the Saints can get a bucket away, maybe we will be. Has to shoot it. Mitch Dance hasn't heard the call from his teammates. Shot clock violation. How's the Saints defense in this last minute or so?
Yeah, that timeout, they have turned things around a little bit, and here the Whai do want to take their timeout and just say, look, let's finish this game off. But yeah, things starting to go the Saints' way. 90 seconds though, there's still probably not enough time for a miracle comeback, but they've scored the last 3 points. I think it was 20-12.
The Whai need to an off-ball screen to get Ty winning on anyone but Dane Samuel, and then the Saints will be smart to burn a foul on the floor, but then they're in the bonus. So the Saints got one foul to give before they send the Whai to the line, and they don't want to do that when all the Whai need to do is make a shot.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, you're right. They've got the one chance, but they have to play pretty good defense. Probably look for steals when they can, whereas the Whai, I think, just start playing, you know, get through this position and then run what they want to on offense is tough, and just a great curl.
Oh, he's missed the bunny though. And so Wynyard given a little bit of space. He's going to put the ball on the floor, the big man, looking to end the game on his own terms. He does just that. Ty Wynyard. They just needed that little break, the Whai, just to talk things over, regather themselves, and in the end they comfortably see off the Wellington Saints after a spirited mini comeback from the Saints at the end. 21-15, the Whai with the win, and we think that means the Whai will play Tuatara Pacifica at 1:45 in the round of 16. The best way to keep up with the standings throughout the day is head to play.fiba3x3.com as we see the final bucket from Ty Wynyard.
Yeah, and then just go to the events on that website and search for Schick. It's by far the fastest way, and that will have the constantly updated. Takes about 30 seconds at the end of each game just to see that, see where the results are, and then we'll start seeing the brackets filled out as well.
And similarly, the Basketball New Zealand socials will have you covered for all the draws and results throughout the day. Let's hear from Te Tuhirangi Lewis, who's with Nebuli.
Cheers, Hugh. Here with Te Tuhi Lewis. The Whai go to top of Pool A, 6-1. Got to be happy with that, but it was a tough finish here against a really hard Saints side.
Yeah. Definitely happy. We do wish we could have went undefeated, but that Bulls game, 80% felt like trying, but it is what it is.
How about yourself? You enjoying the 3x3 experience?
Of course, yeah. I love basketball, and 3-on-3 is like just always fun. So it's good to be with the boys. Yeah.
And Ty Wynyard too, down low. Must be pretty cool just handing it off to him and watching him go to work.
Of course. It's always fun seeing the big man go to work. So yeah, I love seeing him dunk it too. So. Yo.
Crossover game to come. Good luck for that one.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, guys.
We all love seeing Ty Wynyard dunk as well, as we see some of the West Coast Rapids team watching on ahead of their game, which will be coming up soon. After the break here on Court 1, some women's action and an all-Toihi clash between the Tokomanua Queens and the Southern Hoiho. That's coming up in about 60-second time here on the Home Sport, Sky Sport. Kia ora, welcome back if you're just joining us. Haere mai if you're here for the first time today, day 3 of the Schick 3x3 Cup, and we are getting set for the first game of women's action on Court 1 between the Tokomanua Queens and the Southern Hoiho over on Sky Sport 2, which is looking after Court 2 for this morning session. A few minutes away from a men's game between Mid-City Magic and Tuatara Pacifica. But for us, it's an all-Toihi clash between a couple of interesting teams who are having a bit of a roller coaster time. The Queens are 4 wins and 2 losses, and Aria Cowley, the young sharpshooter out of Fraser College, Tyler Hooper, Lakota Beatty, and Josie Trousdale. And for the Hoiho, who are 2 and 3, Caitlin O'Connell, Tyler Mitchell, Sammy Gallagher, and Jen O'Connell. Surprisingly, given all the family connections at this tournament, those 2 O'Connells are not related. Jen from Southland and Caitlin from Taranaki, studying at Otago University. And these, the Hoiho, just 2 wins, but one of them against the much feared mainland Pouakai.
Yeah, they're previously unbeaten until that game. So
Sammy Gallagher catching fire from beyond the arc as Cowley looks to get her. Oh, Josie Trousdale missing the first layup of the day. Right smile from her. Plenty more layups to come as O'Connell looks to battle through some. Oh, Tyler Mitchell, who's one of the players with the greenest of green lights. Hit a couple of big shots in that win over the Pouakai. O'Connell opens up for her. She takes full advantage.
You can see her just hesitate for a moment to see what Trousdale was going to do. She elected to stay out, expecting that pass over to Gallagher, and great decision there just to keep your balance and go up and score that.
And you can see that Josie Trousdale on day one more likely would have collapsed in and tried to stop the drive, because that's what you are taught to do in five-a-side, because you know someone's going to rotate around. 3x3, not so much. Protect the two early on in the game especially, and you can give up the odd one. Lakota Beatty and R.A. Cowley looking to combine, but a shot clock violation. Sammy Gallagher will be one of the top one-on-one defenders in the competition here.
Yeah, and she'd know, like, Beatty's strength is shooting from behind the arc, so really wanted to run her off that and just make it hard for her to finish inside. There's usually so much contact in there, it's not an easy shot to finish inside, and sometimes people just expect they're going to be challenged. Even when there's nobody there, it's harder than you think.
Hooper, a nice move, and both teams missing layups early on in this one. Maybe haven't had their morning coffee yet. Beatty needs a bit of help. Jen O'Connell into the game now looking after Trousdale as the two bigs match up with each other. Jen O'Connell had a big game in that win over the Pouakai as Hooper gets the two to go.
Yeah, it was well defended by O'Connell against Trousdale, and she did a good job to find a spaced out Tyler Hooper there for the open two. But
not a stat we're keeping here, James, I don't think, but Josie Trousdale won't be far away from being blocks leader, I think, in the women's competition.
No, I think she had a play where she had 2 blocks on one possession.
Both on the perimeter as well. I saw one. Yeah. She's getting those arms up and affecting some shots, that's for sure. Free throw made, so 2 apiece. Cowley wants it from deep, and she makes it. Does Aria Cowley. Mitchell from the corner.
One of Cowley's easier 2-point shots. A lot of hers, she's very, very good shooting off the dribble. That one just a catch and shoot too, as she was wide open on the pass.
Mitchell looking inside, back to O'Connell. Spinning down low, looking to get up. Caitlin O'Connell, nice drive and finish.
Yeah, that was some aggressive defense from Hooper, and she just did well to push her all the way under the bucket, go around and finish over the top.
Cowley, a long one as the shot clock expired.
You see the hustle there, like you can't just expect the ball's going to bounce you because your team's on defense. As Gallagher, I think, drew a foul there.
It was going to be either a foul or travel.
Yes.
And so the foul called on Tyler Hooper.
It's one of those weird plays as a referee. Like it's sort of like the double dribble where you just don't expect anyone to have a double dribble, and then it takes you a second to realise what actually happened there.
Because it just doesn't look right. Something looks wrong about it, and you're like, well, something's happened there.
So 4-3, the Hoiho, they also have, I think they're the one team which has 2 games this morning. Yeah, they do. They play at in the session at 1:25 as well. And they'll be hoping that their results mean that they play in the afternoon session as opposed to having a playoff game straight after their 2 morning games. It's the quirk of the draw when you have 176 games over 4 days. You can't be guaranteed to have ideal rest between every game. And especially when we get to playoffs and you don't know who you're going to play, as Cowley gets up and denies O'Connell.
Cowley tied up. Jump ball to call, so that will go the way of the Tokomato Queens.
Have a look at that. That's just I'd say a mud fight for the ball there. There's Cowley off the NBA screen. And then Gallagher says, I'll take that, thank you very much.
And then she might shoot the Sammy Gallagher. Steps back, fires back to Mitchell, who'll definitely shoot it high over the arms of Josie Trousdale. Tyler Mitchell. Beatty looking for 5 back with 2 of her own, and she does just that, so 6 apiece.
So the 2 big players made the other team shoot so high. We wonder if they get an assist as we have a 3 in the key here. And that's one of the things a little bit, it takes a few teams a bit to adjust to that, because it starts as soon as your team gets possession, whether you can shoot or not. You still have to clear the ball with the 3 seconders counting if you're inside the key there. as Beattie left wide open, and that is fortunate for the Hoiho that that one didn't drop.
O'Connell's two doesn't drop either, but she goes and gets her own rebound. Gallagher. That doesn't go either. Jen O'Connell, great rebound, just taps it up to Gallagher, and here she'll go to work on Trousdale, looking to bank it in with defence from the Tokomana of Queen.
It's a good battle between O'Connell and Trousdale as the other O'Connell just sprints through the gap there to steal that bounce pass.
And the burrow under Josie Trousdale, easier said than done. Throws up a prayer, and Jen O'Connell's there to finish off. No, she's not. The two O'Connells taking turns and missing layups on that play. And there's Jen O'Connell again, and she's fouled by Trousdale. Those two having a real battle under the hoop.
This is one of the most physical, I guess, big player battles here on the women's side of the bracket, is Trousdale and O'Connell just going at each other every play. And this is just how it is. It's 3x3 basketball. You have to be strong and know there's going to be a lot of contact, especially under the basket.
Free throw doesn't go. Here's Tyler Hooper. Long arm of O'Connell trying to disrupt things. BT, two ball, another one for Lakota BT.
That's what she was brought in to do, shoot some shots from behind the arc, and showing that she can do that extremely well. And we'll stay here with the Southern Hoiho, 7 seconds on the shot clock. And we won't get to see the Trousdale versus O'Connell matchup, at least for a couple of seconds, with Trousdale on the court and O'Connell having a quick break on the substitutes chair.
Hooper trying to direct traffic, and Trousdale flirts with the out of bounds line. Can't get the finger roll to go. Gallagher with the rebound. Hands it off to Mitchell. Fires up a long two. Doesn't drop. Gallagher goes after the rebound. Doesn't get her foot out, so they have to re-clear. And Tyler Mitchell this time doesn't shoot. Down the lane. Trousdale with the block.
I don't think she did actually.
Trousdale again with the block.
I know referee Melanie O'Connell was signalling to clear it, but because it was their team that shot it, I don't think the Queens ever touched the ball. So if a referee's telling you to clear it, though, my advice is definitely go and do that, because it's not worth saying, no, we shot that, and then they have to have a conference to decide.
So that's Josie Trousdale's defensive wares on display. And 2 blocks in a matter of seconds. Gallagher misses her free throw, rebounded by Cowley. Jen O'Connell back into the game. Another 2 ball, this time Tyler Hooper, and that puts a 4-point buffer between the Queens and the Hoiho. 5 minutes to go. Mitchell looking for a bank that doesn't come.
How good is the last name Hooper for a basketball? Like,
1 pointer for Mitchell. Here is Tyler Hooper. Spinning, nice move from Hooper, and the finish.
Yeah, that was pretty, wasn't it? She just got her overextended a little bit, spun off, and just a wide open lane to the bucket. Queens up by 4 points. Have a look at this here. One of the easier finishes that you're going to see in 3x3 basketball here at the Schick Cup. So O'Connell off the high screen from the other O'Connell around to Gallagher. She has a quick look, drives past Beattie, hard to the rim. No touch on the rim there, so it will be a shot clock violation, and Queen's ball up the top. So Beattie will have the check here as both teams, no, just the Hoiho have a substitution as Mitchell comes back in. We've got a screen away from Trousdale. Cowley looking to try and get open. She's still in. She finally gets the ball after about 6 seconds have come off the clock. Launches the deep 2, which bounces, and off the back, top of the GJ Gardner backboard.
So Cowley takes a seat. Not quite a punishment sub, which we've, Kat Jones and I were talking about yesterday, that every time there's an air ball player, for the most part, will just take an immediate seat. Oh,
I think it depends on the team. Some of them have, like, this is our rotation, A, B, C, D, and do that. Other ones can be a bit more of
who needs the break at the time.
Exactly.
And some of them are a little bit more tactical with matchups as well. Gallagher, eyes for the hoop. Basket counts, and she'll go to the line for one more. Sammy Gallagher looking to make it a 3-point game.
And that is strength. A good job there to grab the ball and just be strong through the contact from Trousdale. If she hits this one, we'll cut the lead down to 3 points. At the Sky Sport line, we can say it's the Sky Sport 1 free throw line today.
This for the first session anyway, as O'Connell fights with Cowley for that one. Oh, geez, she bulleted what was a pin-perfect pass to Tyler Mitchell after the whistle. That one.
It was that's one of the hard ones off an offensive rebound. Who was the team that had possession? So it was O'Connell judged to have it first, which is why the Queens get the credit for the tie ball there.
Cowley with a quick release, can't get it to go. O'Connell working so hard out there for the Hoiho. Not a deep shooter, O'Connell, and I'm talking about Jen O'Connell, but knows her role and playing it very well at this 3x3 Cup. Caitlin O'Connell had to put that up, manages to get a bit of rim.
Yeah, that was great awareness there, just to know that I'm going to have to catch this, do a 180-degree turn and just fire it towards the basket. So impressive just to get ball on the hoop there as O'Connell. Rebound, dish out, assist, 2-point bucket made by Mitchell.
Poor old Aria Cowley has been clattered by Jen O'Connell a couple of times going for rebounds. That last time, even drawing an apology, an in-game apology from Jen.
See here, she's probably not where she wants to be, out on the perimeter against one of the quicker guards with one of the best handles here.
A real disruptor, and I know that time called for a foul, Jen O'Connell, but she is disrupting everything the Queens are trying to do, and it's her work that is helping keep the Hoiho within arm's distance. Cowley almost left that ball behind. She's got Sammy Gallagher on her. It's not an easy task to get through, but look at that pure release from Aria Cowley, and she drains the 2-ball.
You can see Gallagher close to us is, yeah, Cowley actually, what might have been on the line there, I think, from that angle. I think it is just a one. Was that what the referees had checked? It is, yes. So Melanie O'Connell said it was only a 1-point basket. I thought it was, well, we can't see because of the hoarding here, but on the replay it did look like her foot was on it. So
right call made in the end by Mel O'Connor. And here's Caitlin O'Connell looking to bank it in, but we've got an illegal screen called on Sammy Gallagher and a nod of recognition from Sammy G.
And Cowley looks like, well, that was the right basketball play to make to try and win the game, but when we've got another 4 playoff games, maybe I should have just died on that screen as opposed to absolutely getting killed by it.
2-ball doesn't go. O'Connell taps it out of bounds. And that'll be Queen's possession. Over on Sky Sport 2 right now in the men's. Mid-City Magic taking on Pouakai Pacifica. And you're with us on Sky Sport 1. Court 1 here at IR2 Stadium, Southland. As the Queens take on the Hoiho. Tyler Mitchell follow Tyler Hooper in really well there and got a clean block as Beatty puts up a 2-ball that doesn't get anything. As the shot clock expired, so Hoiho possession from the top. Sammy Gallagher back into the game. A much loved figure in Dunedin basketball. It's the former Tall Fern, Sammy Gallagher. And if you do have time throughout the day to read a little bit up about her, an incredible story, Sammy G's.
It's great to have her back playing basketball at a high level and enjoying it as well.
Trousdale from 2 off the back line, chasing her own rebound. Disrupts Caitlin O'Connell slightly, but it's the smaller of the O'Connells who comes away with the ball. Gallagher piercing through the defence, gets her own rebound as she does almost better than anyone. Shot clock violation.
I was really hoping that would go on because she had 3 Queens players all grab it, her arms and the ball going through, and unfortunately for the Hoiho, not able to hit the rim there. I think they would have scored if they could just get the shot clock reset.
Minute 40 to go. Hooper pulls up from Rokawa range. That one just a little short. Back it goes to Tyler Mitchell for 2. High up the back line. Does she get the lucky roll? She does, Tyler Mitchell. And it makes it a 1-point game. Much needed bucket that for the Southern Hoiho.
Yeah,
Cowley giving her just a little bit of space. It's a dangerous game if you let Aria Cowley have just that little bit of space, and she'll make you pay. Mitchell looking to pay it straight back. She does just that. Well, the team's recognising the time on the clock left, just a minute 15. Turning on the shooting. Jen O'Connell did really well initially to stay in front of Cowley and prevent any step back 2. Mitchell looking to trade 2 for 1, just a little strong. And we have a foul call, shooting foul, so Jen O'Connell will go to the line to shoot 1. And the teams will take a much needed rest.
Yeah, I'd really love it if we could find out from O'Connell just what she's enjoyed about the 3x3. It really seems like the physicality suits her so well. What she probably doesn't like is being matched up on Aria Cowley. Seems like this is about the 3rd or 4th time behind the arc, and She's looked for twos against her. She's looked to cross her up and drive past her. And as he said, like, she played fantastic defense for about 6 seconds there, but she needed 7 seconds as Cowley went by in the end.
But even then, to prevent Aria Cowley, who, as we say, has got some of the best handles in this competition and a potent step back.
Yes.
She stopped that. You can live with the one if you need to. Stop Aria Cowley draining easy twos. I had a wee chat with Jen O'Connell this morning on my way into ILT Stadium Southland and just said, "Are you enjoying it?" She said, "I'm absolutely loving it, but I'm no spring chicken anymore." The Southlander, and she's got quite an important game coming up later in this early session when she'll take on the Southern Storm. The Southland Storm, her hometown team. And I know she had a tough decision to make between which team to play for. I think the Hoiho got to her first as Tyler Hooper finds Trousdale. Big if it goes from Josie Trousdale. Almost all the way in and out from Josie Trousdale. So the Hoiho trail by 1, under a minute to go. O'Connell might have stepped on the line.
She did. Yep, you got the call right. So no foul there. The Queens are in the boat. Well, they've got 17 fouls, so if there was a foul there, would have been 2 shots for the Hoiho, which could have been enough for them to have the lead here.
Need a stop here, do the Hoiho.
Just surprising that no team has taken their time out. Like, I thought, well, then I can remember.
Great steal from Tyler Mitchell. And they give it to her. And inside to Gallagher to tie it up. Sammy Gallagher down low. Cowley on her, 16 apiece, 28 to go. Thriller early in the day. Cowley, 2, leaves it short. Out of bounds it'll go, so the teams will take a wee breath.
I mean, this is going to be in consideration for one of the games of the day, and that's even knowing that we've got playoff games coming up later in the day to decide who makes it into the top 8 quarterfinal rounds tomorrow. So great fight back from the Southern Hoiho. And we're just getting, it's a clock correction here.
21.3 seconds to go, 16 apiece. Southern Hoiho possession.
So still no timeouts. It's basically 1, maybe 2 possessions for the Hoiho and 1 for the Queens to decide who makes it through, or if we're going to some free overtime basketball.
3 on the shot clock. Gallagher can't get it to go. 8 seconds to go. The Queens might get the final say in regulation time here. It's going to be Tyler Hooper. Driving high up the glass. Trousdale looking for the putback. Gallagher can't get it up in time. Overtime, here we go between the Hoiho and the Queens. So now maybe a good idea not to use your timeout because they retain it for overtime.
You don't get an extra one in overtime. You just get, if you haven't used it, you get to have 1. But that was, by that 21.3 seconds, that was some frantic defense from both teams. Hooper looked like she had a chance to get all the way to the rim, and then Gallagher coming across at the last instance just to make that shot very hard. And I guess the key decision here for the 2 teams is, if you're starting with the ball, do you want to look for a 2 first and just try and ice the game immediately, or do you want to just score a 1 if you can?
First to 2 points. Takes as long as it needs to take. Over on Sky Sport 2, not that you'd leave the overtime game, surely more women's action between the West Coast Rapids and the Otago Gold Rush. So choices to make if you're in Dunedin. And the Hoiho find Sammy Gallagher. Tyler Mitchell, their designated 2-point shooter. Caitlin O'Connell can shoot them too. Ain't there Sammy Gallagher? But Tyler Mitchell would be their first choice for a 2. Who's that come off? It looks like it's been deemed to come off Aria Cowley.
Yes, yeah, based on the body language. I thought it was off Gallagher. Looking at the lineup that the Hoiho put out, I thought they would be going for a 2, and they do that off the cheek.
Mitchell looking for the win. Gallagher gets the rebound. Absolute luxury to have a rebounder like Gallagher in your team. That pass was an ambitious one, and Gallagher called for the foul on Cowley.
So it is only the 4th foul for the Hoiho, so it'll be Queen's ball up the top. I can just see Tyler Hooper saying, well, she's signalling something. Is it, do we want to go for a 1 or a 2, or are we running play 1 or 2? And a good substitution here to get the taller O'Connell in for the shorter O'Connell to match up against Trousdale.
Cowley will look for that little bit of space, and Tyler Mitchell knows that, so she gets right up in her grill. Hooper over O'Connell. Hoiho's chance. Both these teams going for the 2. Mitchell for the win. Who's going to come down with that one? Trousdale and O'Connell fighting over it. Jump ball. Queen's ball. And that's one of the hardest decisions a referee's got to make in a jump ball situation.
Yeah, the ones after a shot attempt is you have to decide who had possession first and then who's the one which is tying it up. But we've seen just some tremendous defense from both teams here as it gets down to winning time.
Beatty for 2. Queens get the win in overtime over the Hoiho. Lakota Beatty for 2. And that's all they needed in the extra period. And that was clean as you like from Lakota Beatty from 2-point range to lock in the win.
Well, then there's going to be some sore bodies from these two teams, and the Hoiho, relatively short turnaround before their next game, but that was a battle between the two teams. Queens, I think, done now in terms of their pool games. They'll just wait and see who they match up against.
And we need to get to a break because we have got a game starting as soon as we get back in 60 seconds time in the men's side of the draw between the West Coast Rapids and the Auckland Tuatara. So we'll be back here on Sky Sport in a minute's time. Welcome back, ILT Stadium, Southland, Sky Sports coverage of the Schick 3x3 Cup. Coming up here on Court 1, Session 1 of Day 3, the West Coast Rapids taking on the Auckland Tuatara. Over on Court 2, on Sky Sport 2, the West Coast Rapids women's team in action against the Otago Gold Rush. So, if you're joining us from the West Coast in Greymouth or Westport or Reefton or Hokitika, welcome.
Who will Phil Jones be watching? Is he Nelson Sparks or West Coast Rapids? Or
well, his daughter's playing for the Nelson Sparks. So as we look at the teams there, Ben Hall and Kaya Isaac both in the top 5 for scorers from the men. So leading the way for the West Coast Rapids alongside Jared Hips and Kieran Russell. And for the Tuatara, Chris McIntosh, Ruben Fitzgerald, Tom Beatty and Liam Judd.
And the Rapids are a pretty successful tournament so far. 2 wins from their 6 games that they've played. Probably the biggest one knocking off the Wellington Saints yesterday. No, on day 1, sorry.
And the Hawks yesterday. So two big scalps for the Rapids as Fitzgerald with a strong drive. Gets the points started for the Tuatara. Kai Isaac using his muscle to go past Liam Judd, but just couldn't get the finish. Liam Judd has got the body of a 3x3 athlete.
Yes, he does. And Kai Isaac, I was just thinking how much he loves going into the post in 5-on-5 basketball. Suits him pretty well in 3x3, and as you said, 2 of the top 4 scorers across the whole thing. Ben Hall, I think, was 53, and Kai Isaac, 47. So 100 points between them out of their 6 games, which is a lot.
Josh looking for a little floating pass over to Judd. Up fake on the finish from Liam Judd. And Isaac tries to find a gap. Drives on Beatty. Blocked by Tom Beatty at the rim. And Chris McIntosh, the sharpshooter, fires it over to Tom Beatty. He pulls up from 2-point land. Gets it to go. So fast start for the Auckland Tuatara, who lead 4-0. What does Ben Hall have to say about that? Well, he's got 2 points to say about that.
Yeah, he just looks cool, doesn't he? Beatty, I've seen him launch a lot from behind the arc, and he's hit a whole bunch of 2s throughout this tournament. But Ben Hall is, I think he loves having a green light, and I think he pretty much does in this team here. Great feed there as Kai Isaac was cutting through.
McIntosh. Hips gives him a little bit of space. Which you can't afford to do on Chris McIntosh. Step back, 2 ball. from the lefty Isaac. McIntosh uses his body well to bring in the rebound.
So both teams, there's virtually no talk like teammates say, hey, make sure we're guarding. So it's been pretty amazing, just the defensive switches with, you know, everyone just knows what's happening and when to do stuff.
Tough fade away from mid-range for 1 point. Here's Judd.
He is a guy, well, he's number 2 in the scoring overall, so you know he can light it up as...
Liam Judd drains the 2-ball from the wing.
So this Auckland Tuatara team has obviously prioritised 2-point shooting quite a bit. 8 points all from behind the arc, isn't it? They haven't hit one. I don't think they've even launched one inside, have they?
Broom Fitzgerald had a drive at the start, I think.
Right, yep. Sorry, so the last, they've hit 3 shots from behind the arc and 2 points inside. Is Isaac here shooting one from the Sky Sport line?
Gets it to go. Great relocation from Fitzgerald. Leaves us too short. Catches his own rebound. Finds Liam Judd, who had one of the highlights of the day yesterday. Thunderous putback dunk. Isaac, step back, 2-ball. Fitzgerald with the board.
What a crossover and drive there. There was not a whole lot of room on the baseline there. And everyone, there was a whistle on the other court, so everyone was kind of like, did you blow a whistle to warn something? And Hamish Dale says, no, it's a great play, carry on playing.
Fitzgerald rebound back to VIII. Here's Judd driving, elevating, throwing it down with one hand. Liam Judd showing off all of his athleticism.
I wasn't sure if he was going to do that. I was like, this looks like, that's too far. No, yes, that is exactly the right spot for him.
Nice find from Hibbs to Isaac, but Tom Beattie replies to the 1 with a 2. 13-6 as Kieran Russell drains the 2 in response.
Yeah, you normally see people sprinting out and then turning to catch that with the dribble. Have a look at this here. Up and good business decision there just to let him.
I think it was Kieran Russell, did he? Just took a couple steps out the way.
Yeah.
Said, all yours, Liam. McIntosh, nice easy play from the check for the Tuatara. Oh, Tom Beattie picked the pocket of Ben Hall, and McIntosh from the top, yet to get his range. Chris McIntosh, and just a little display of frustration after missing that one as Hall drives, cops a bit of contact. Nice pass to Russell, gets himself a bit of space, but can't get the 2 to go. Fitzgerald looking for the cute little rebound tip.
Well, unfortunately for him, Isaac knew exactly what he was going to do, and as soon as he recognised he was going to tip it, he released and then went to the spot it was going to land.
Nice move from Fitzgerald, banks it in for 1, 14-8.
Ben Hall showing off the handles here and then losing the ball and just asking for a foul. Great thing about refereeing 3x3s, you can be like, no, that was legal contact there. Yes, he did hit your arm, but no, it's not a foul.
Fitzgerald's 2-ball doesn't go. Kai Isaac goes to get the rebound. Hall fouled, smart foul by Ruben Fitzgerald. Hall trying to sell the fact he was shooting, which he was not. After this one, on this game, a bumper matchup in the women's competition between the mainland Pouakai and the northern Kahu.
Yeah, key one there is the Pouakai will want to go back. Winning, great turn and cut there from Ben Hall. Lays it in gently, 9-14.
And that has been a go-to for the West Coast Rapids, all competition. And Ben Hall just seemingly allowed to cut at will whenever he plays. That is a spin on a dime from Kai Isaac, and the finish for 1. So a 4-point game. McIntosh surveys his option, 6 on the shot clock. Ben Hall with the good defense in the first instance, but McIntosh gets round him eventually. Hall relocates.
I think the spin and finish is probably a bit more effective in 3x3 basketball than 5-on-5 because there's only 2 other potential defenders that can get involved in the play, and most of the time they're spaced out.
And there's no 7-footer just lurking a few paces away.
Very few of them, yeah.
So the 7-footer did win the competition last time we played here in Invercargill.
Ty Wynyard's not quite 7 foot this time though, is he? So
we had Alex Pledger as part of the winning Sharks team. Timeout called here by the West Coast Rapids. So teams will talk it over. 5-point lead for the Auckland Tuatara. 4 minutes 45 to go. Over on Sky Sport 2. The West Coast women's team are in action. The Rapids up against the Otago Gold Rush. And the Gold Rush who got off to a hot start yesterday. before losing late in the piece.
You know, I think they're searching for their first win, the Rapids as well. The female variant of the Rapids.
No, the Rapids have a win.
They have one.
They got a win or two yesterday. The Rapids one win.
Yep. I'll be honest, it starts blending together, and I find it hard to remember which games have I seen, who have I not.
That was a good win yesterday as well for the Rapids. They had a close overtime loss to Waikato. I know that. Here's Liam Judd. We'll find out that score for you, West Coast fans, because
it was day one they won. They beat Pouakai right near the end of the game. It's Ben Hall here. Wrapped
up by Fitzgerald, waiting for a whistle that does come. And Ben Hall will shoot one. Ruben Fitzgerald going, I was fouling him long before that, but you didn't call it until he was shooting. So Hall at the line. They're going to make it a 5-point game. Leaves it short though, chases his own rebound. And that'll be Tuatara possession from the top.
Yeah, and you just wonder if that's fatigue starting to get in. Ben Hall, a very good athlete in terms of physical ability and fitness levels, but this is not easy. 6 games in 3 days. Well, this is game number 7 for teams, and it's not going to slow down. The level's going to pick up a bit as teams qualify, well, find out their positions that they're qualifying for playoffs coming up next. So you kind of wonder for the games where teams like, oh, we're pretty much locked into these sorts of things. It's important that we're healthy and playing well. They obviously want to win each one, but you know you're going to see another level once it's playoff time.
McIntosh has yet to really dial in from 2. Liam Judd does really well to keep that ball and then find the pass over to McIntosh. Now he James his first 2 ball. Chris McIntosh. Isaac with all the ball fakes, but McIntosh not buying any of them. Kieran Russell for 2 from the wing. 6-point game. Rapids need some stops. We might have forced a turnover there. A foul called on Kyra Isaac, so Tuatara possession from the top.
Yeah, probably not the worst thing to get a foul. Like, they expended a lot of time making it hard for the Tuatara to clear the ball, but then Isaac was just pushed so high, almost to the TAB logo, that the Tuatara would have had a 2-on-1 just driving towards the basket on that side.
Oh, that pass just a little wayward, so West Coast will go again and have possession again, and they have a chance to make it a 4-point game.
We've seen Russell hit a couple of rainbow 2s here.
There it is again, Ben Hall cutting. This time the Tuatara a little bit more prepared for it. Judd with the defense. Here's BT, 5 on the shot clock as he drives, looking for a finish and gets it. So Tuatara a 2-ball away from first win of the day for them. Isaac with some nice handles driving at Judd. And that's a smart finish from Kyra Isaac.
Oh, a bit of a surprise here. They needed 2, it goes to McIntosh. You think, well, this is going to be a 2, and he goes through him, then Beatty a steal.
And here's McIntosh really looked to ice it himself, driving. And finishing under duress. Chris McIntosh gets the win for the Auckland Tuatara. 21-13 over the West Coast Rapids.
Yeah, so I guess it did end up happening in the end. Chris McIntosh, the ball did find him. They needed 2 points to win, and he did make both of the 2s there. Well, both 1s there, which ended up being 2 points. See if we can try and get someone to get a quick post-game interview. But having a look at the standings now for the Tuatara after that win, that will push them up to 3 wins, 4 losses. The Rapids drop down to 2 and 5.
Chris McIntosh, who took a while to get going from 2. Got there in the end eventually. (21-13), the Auckland Tuatara beat the West Coast Rapids, and you can see in the background the West Coast women's team in action, and an absolute thriller actually going on between them and the Gold Rush. So switch over if you can to Sky Sport 2 for that one. Meanwhile, we'll wait for have a quick chat with Chris McIntosh from the Auckland Tuatara. And coming up after the break and after the interview, the mainland Pouakai taking on the northern Kahu. And an intriguing matchup between two of the heavyweights of this competition, including Tessa Boagni up against her half-sister Shivana Parvas, two tall ferns, which will be really good fun to see. Let's hear from Chris McIntosh, who's with Justin.
Thanks very much, Hugh. Chris McIntosh down with me, one of the best 3x3 players in the country, no less. Love the look on your face. Hey, it was a good win, and of course playoffs coming up, those crossovers, important to get some form early on day 3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you said before, everyone crosses over, so I mean, we're just trying to get like our legs under us. Like offensive trans is like a completely different game. So that, even offensive sets and defense, we're just trying to pick all that stuff up before playoffs.
Hey, to be fair, you've played a lot of 3x3, not only around New Zealand but also internationally. How have you found the Schick Cup so far this year?
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, obviously you got women's and men's playing at the same time, which is mean. And then, yeah, what, like 16 teams each time? Like, there's a lot of teams, a lot of comps, a lot of games. So we get tired at the end, but I mean, we have fun, so it's cool.
Standard?
Yeah, no, it's me. I guess, especially compared to domestic leagues, like, it's good to get actually NBL dudes playing, and I guess people that haven't played 3x3 before to play it. So
as we head to the crossovers now, what's important for the Tuatara? What are you guys going to do from here? What are you going to go away and talk about right now?
I mean, same thing as we said before. We're just trying to get our trans going, especially O trans, even D trans. Just trying to pick up on the 3x3 stuff. If we get control of those, then we'll be all right.
Best of luck in the next one, huh?
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Chris. We'll take a break, and when we get back, a big one as the Harbour Breeze watch on between the mainland Pouakai and the northern Kahu. The team's taking the court as we speak, and there is going to be a big battle between two sisters, Shivana Parvas and Tessa Boagni. Looking forward to that one after the break here on Sky Sports. See you soon. Welcome back to ILT Stadium, Southland. Sky Sports coverage of the Schick 3x3 Cup. Hugh Maiden here alongside James Lesserman for another couple games of this early session on day 3 as we finish off pool play and get into crossovers and knockouts all today. And a big one coming away here on court 1 between the Pouakai and the Kahu.
Yeah, this is who wants to finish first in the poll, and I'm sure if you ask them, they'll both say yes, we want to, but you've got to prove it.
Big names left, right and centre on this one. For the Pouakai, tall ferns aplenty. Tessa Boagni, Elafotu, Jacinta Beckley and a Rosie Samia, and they're wearing the red and blue. And for the Northern Kahu, Kason Bookman, one of the reigning champions of this competition. Seasoned tall fern Shivana Parvas, Asia Anderson, who is playing and doing yeoman's work for the Kahu in this game, in this competition so far. And Yumi Nagishi from Japan over at Aotearoa at the moment and playing very well so far at the Schick 3x3 Cup. So this one is going to be physical, James.
It is.
Shivana Parvas, one of the most physical players here, and got into a right battle with Manamalo Pepe yesterday in the Kahu v Wellington game, which was good fun to watch.
Yeah, I feel like I should pick the Pouakai because that's my team and the team from where I'm from. But yeah, this is going to be a battle, and I think it's going to be. It's one that you wouldn't be surprised if it went right down to the final couple of seconds in the teams. Either one can win it.
Rosie Samia with the first bucket. As Parvas looks to go to work. Good defense. Rosie Samia is a fantastic defender. as Casey Bookman's first two is a little bit off. Now, I mentioned Samara Gallagher being one of the best at chasing her own rebound. The only one who rivals her is Casey Bookman, as Boagni makes it 2-0. Into Parvas they go. Turnaround jumper from Chevy. Leaves that a little bit short. But fortuitous on the board, but she can't get the second to go either. Here's Ella Fotu, who we've mentioned several times. 3x3 tall fern, went to the World Cup and the Com Games this year. Finds her bestie, Tessa Boagni. As the two ball doesn't drop.
No, it's nice to have just, you know, your big player able to step out and didn't go in, but just, she is a very good two-point shooter.
And there's the first look at the two sisters going at each other, both wearing number 10. Parvast and Boagni, half-sisters. Father Kerry Boagni, an NBL great, in fact named in the top 10 players in NBL history last year. Met for the first time at Tall Ferns camp.
Oh, that is...
They knew of each other, but
yes,
hadn't met each other until Tall Ferns camp. And Tessa's mum, Jane McMeekin, her former Tall Ferns captain, as Beckley just struggles to gather the ball, so Parvas goes and gets it. I can tell you the score is 2-0. We don't have a score up on screen for you at the moment, and Parvas looking to tie things up at 2 apiece. And the ball goes out of bounds. 2-0 to the Pouakai, dealing in ones at the moment as two sisters take a seat, Boagni and Parvas.
You can see there that Fotu just let the ball go out of bounds. Smart play there, because it means you get the whole 12 seconds on the shot clock up the top and a chance to run one of your primary sets.
Samia, good defense that time from Yumi Nagishi. And here's Asia Anderson going to work, driving Beckley with her, doing enough just to affect the shot just into Beckley. Ella Fotu gets a first step on Kason Bookman and finishes at the rim.
Yeah, great job just to... She gets pretty almost horizontal to the ground to get her shoulders past the defender. And that's how Fotu gets so wide open at the rim. As Beckley, a nice easy bucket inside.
Disappointing not to see Ella Fotu wearing number 42, which is family tradition. And I don't know, I'm sure Caleb Harrison is watching, general manager of the mainland Pouakai, and I expect a text and an explanation on why Ella Fotu is wearing 44. It's the family number 42 for the Fotu family, just in case you haven't made the connection at home. Worn by Dan, worn by Isaac, worn by Ella normally.
I'd like to know what the second choice number is when you're both playing in the same team. Do you go 24 or?
Well, Isaac, the oldest, I imagine, gets first dibs on 42 as Parvas finishes nicely at the rim. A great find from Asia Anderson for the Kahu, get their first point, and a foul there on Nagishi. And Fotu comes back off the bench with Kason Bookman.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You said looked out for a physical battle, and not so much Tessa Boagni and Parvas, but
not even the bigs, right? Rosie Samia
yes,
is a very physical defender. Kason Bookman stands down to nobody. Jacinta Beckley, Ella Fotu, Asia Anderson, they're all physical players as Beckley puts up a long two ball, leaves it short. So the Kahu will go again from the top.
And both teams making liberal use of the substitutions here, because you know it just takes a toll, all this, the constant awareness and having to be locked in all the time. Nagishi here, good feed inside to Parvas.
Samia on Parvas, and Samia can defend players much bigger than her, she just did, but Bookman with the nice follow. Beckley looking to spin, great anticipation on the baseline spin from Shavana Parvas, preventing the bucket. Samia thought about the two, instead goes to work on Bookman. Great relocation from Fotu, but Parvas gets there with a block. This is a battle between these two teams. Nagishi leaves the two just a little long.
So far the best offensive plays have been get the ball into a post-up situation, just throw it up towards the rim, and it's the offensive rebound after that. That's been the only real consistent, as we see a floater there not able to go in.
After a great crossover from Beckley, Fotu, a little bit of space. That one rattles in and out for Ella Fotu.
This has been a long period of high-intensity players. Here's an easy bucket, finally dropped in.
Great recognition from Beckley that, she wasn't going to stop Parvas, so she relocated beyond the arc and couldn't get the two ball to go. Boagni and Anderson come off the bench.
You can see her there just pointing to Samia like, I'm ready, as soon as she scores it, feed it to me. Couldn't hit the shot, and we've got a 4-3 Pouakai lead here.
Boagni Wanted that one up high, but it came in low from Sami. Gave Anderson a chance to intercept it and then drain the two. Asia Anderson. Nagishi, after that one, keeps it in. Bookman from the wing for two. Down it goes. So back-to-back two balls for the Northern Kahu. Give themselves a 3-point lead over the mainland Pouakai. Sami looking to fire back with two of her own. She can't get that to go. Bookman dribbles it out.
Yeah, the Kahu looking, at the moment, better, just able to deal with the pace of the game, chasing down those extra rebounds. The Pouakai getting a little bit slower, it looks like, on their offensive and defensive intensity.
Over on Sky Sport 2, the Canterbury Rams in action against the Taranaki Airs. The Rams unbeaten.
Yeah, the only male team at the moment is Fotu again. She gets her shoulders passed so well as Nagishi just about started walking out to the line to clear that. Then remembered, I've got to dribble this as well.
Samia spinning, turning, up with the left-hand scoop. Rebound from Asia Anderson. There's Palvas looking for Nagishi. 8-5, the Kahu lead. Oh, had to shoot it with the shot clock expiring. There's some tired legs out there.
Yeah, I thought she'd shoot the two, given there was only about 2 seconds left on the clock when she hit it. Fotu says, well, I'll take a two now.
Takes it a 1-point game. Kahu 8-7. Nice cut from Anderson and a smart foul from Rosie Samia.
Yeah, not even shooting, so it will be up the top for the Kahu.
You
see there the
Fotu's two ball.
Yeah, I remember the 4-2 Fotu. I can't remember what Tall Blacks one it was, but there was a commentator, an international one. I can't remember. He definitely wasn't pronouncing it properly, and then realised, oh, they've got the singlet 42 on as a helpful way to help you with the pronunciation. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's a lot closer than how international commentators often do the Pacifica names.
If in doubt, 4-2. Asia Anderson gets the two, and the team's starting to heat up from beyond the arc. Fotu looking to get in on that action too. Rattles another one in.
So she likes the TAB logo sign, doesn't she? That's the spot. Although she did hit the game winner from the Schick as well. So
over the Nelson Sparks in one of the games of the tournament so far. That Pouakai Sparks game yesterday.
Well, this is shaping up to be another potential one as well.
11 apiece, just over 4 minutes to go. Bookman trying to get a bit of space. Palvas puts up the two ball. Fotu goes to get the rebound.
Great defense from Nagishi to stay in front there, and then she closes out on Stockwell. Samia just a little bit off, and ball will be up top for Kahu next possession.
Waikato comes back into the game, joins Samia and Beckley. And
Beckley, sorry.
Asia Anderson into the game as Savannah Palvas takes the seat. Josie Stockwell and Josie Trousdale. Nay Stockwell and Beckley were Tokomanawa Queen's teammates. So he sees as Anderson drives on Bo Agnew. Good defense from the Tall Fern centre, but Anderson there for the follow-up. Beckley ball on the floor. She goes across the front of the rim, can't get the teardrop to fall. So Nagishi brings the ball out under duress from Rosie Samia.
Yeah, and that's the smart play there from Samia. It took a lot of seconds off, and what a finish there from Anderson. Well defended by Agnew. Didn't matter, she hit the tough, I guess, leaning runner.
Bookman puts up the two, that doesn't go. Anderson now retreats beyond the 2-point line. And now Bookman going to work. Turnaround jumper from Kason Bookman. So just like that, a 3-point lead for the Northern Kahu. Beckley looking to bring that back to one. She can't this time.
Yeah, Bookman doesn't look too phased or particularly tired here at the moment. So
well, she's fit. She's fit, Kason Bookman. I said a couple of times already on the broadcast, she spends her life in the sporting arena as a professional tennis coach. She is a fitness specimen.
Well, just to give you an idea of
Palvas for two.
Flying back from Japan, so, you know, overnight flight, arrived back in Auckland at 6 AM, and she's like, yeah, I've got tennis coaching in a couple of hours. I might try and, you know, delay the first session an hour, not the, I'm going to take the whole day off. That is just too late there.
That basket won't count from Rosie Samia, and that's a killer for the Pouakai as the shot clock expired because they trail by 5.
Yeah, last 5 points all going the Kahu's way. Pouakai came back to tie it up at 11.
That's a nice finish from Chevy Palvast. That's a Fotu. They might need to start thinking about doubles as Fotu just can't get that to go. Here's Beckley. Misses the easy one and then fouled hard by Kason Bookman.
Yeah, she could see that shot was about to go up and probably go down, so a good decision to foul there, given the lack of fouls, and it also gives you a whistle to stop the clock, take a timeout here. It is a Pouakai timeout though.
A smart one to take as they trail by 6. Rosie Samia doing the majority of the talking.
She's possibly played the most 3x3 games. Fotu's obviously played the most at a high level, but Rosie Samia, a mainstay of the Lincoln University 3x3 teams, which are, well, they're the national champions this year, and I think she was the national champion last time they had the tournament, which may have been pre-COVID as well. So she's played plenty of international basketball at that university level and been in situations like this.
Beckley's free throw doesn't drop. Boagni fighting with her sister for the rebound, and she draws a foul. And a little smile between the two.
And there, yeah, you can see
Gives her
the
too small look, and now she's shooting.
I was thinking there was almost like she mossed her, like just reaching over the top, just didn't even jump, just batting the ball around over the top of Palvas there. Does make the shot from the Sky Sport line.
Anderson going to work up with the left hand. Boagni with the good defense and the rebound, finding Fotu. Here's Samia around the Boagni screen. Just loses the handle, does Rosie. So they reset through Boagni. 2 on the shot clock. Samia has to get it up. Anderson, good defense. Brings in the rebound. There's Fotu. What a steal that is. And then what a find to Tessa Boagni.
Yeah, Bookman knew what was about to happen, and I don't know, an inch short, an inch taller, she would have picked it off. Instead, great find, great finish from Boagni.
Perhaps step up in intensity from Ella Fotu in particular after that timeout. She's made some big plays. That last one you just saw on the replay.
Yeah, that was pinpoint, wasn't it? And great job, Boagni, to roll, catch, get her balance and go up and finish there. So 90 seconds, 4 points. Bookman says, I want to make it pretty much academic.
2 points away, the Kahu from a big win over the Pouakai. These two 3x3 heavyweights. Good heads-up play from Bookman as it comes off the leg of Jacinta Beckley. And it will be Kahu ball from the top. Chevy Palvas and Tessa Boagni come off the bench.
That was big time there too, wasn't it? You just felt like things were starting to edge back towards the Pouakai's favour, but 6-point deficit, just over a minute to play here. Tough ask as Palvas turns the corner.
Lane opened up. And will she return the favour to her sister? No, not this time. All business for Chevy Palvas, and she'll go to the line to seal the game. Big time play from the big time Tulfin. And there it is, the Kahu with a big win over the mainland Pouakai.
Yeah, they scored 10 of the last 12 points here. It was 11-11 apiece. And you can see there the final score, Kahu 21, Pouakai only managed 2 more points the rest of the way. Just pretty comprehensive second half of the game there for the Kahu. And if I remember correctly, that pushes them up. Yeah, well, the number 1.
7-0.
Yeah, looking like one of the teams to beat, aren't they?
Absolutely, locked themselves into that top spot on Pool B.
So they play later on this afternoon, I think, if I can look at it. Yeah, they've got a while. 6:25, a bit of a rest.
Earn themselves a big break, and they'll play the bottom team of Pool A. And we can hear from Chevy Palvas, who just got one over her half-sister Tessa Boagni. She's with Justin Nelson.
Thanks very much, Hugh. Another win for the Kahu. Of course, the crossover playoffs not too far away. Chevy Palvas, all going to plan?
Well, the crossover, you never know what's going to happen. You lose that game and you drop down to bottom 8. So, you got to play hard in that crossover game or else you're playing for bottom 8. Yeah.
That's an easy way to put it. Australia's home for you these days, but how good is it to be back in your real home?
It's great. I've missed being here. I've missed seeing all my friends and getting time to spend with my family. it's great to be back.
And a bit of family affair there up against Tessa. How did you find it?
Yeah, good. I think she got a little bit of a rebound over me, so I had to talk some smack. But no, it's good. It's the first time I played against her. I usually play with her, so it was nice to get out there and give her some cheeky elbows.
And how have you found the competition so far? It's only day 3. There's a long way to go yet, and no doubt the body is starting to feel it. But how have you found the Schick Cup?
I think it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it. It's fun playing 3x3. It's been fun. It's been physical. And yeah, my body is tired, yeah.
Hey, well done on the win. Best of luck in the crossovers. It starts to get serious now, and no doubt you and the team will go away and have a chat about that now.
Definitely. That's our next focus, the crossover game.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And they've got a bit of time until they cross over. The Northern Kahu back in action a little bit later in the day. We'll take a break now, and when we get back, back to some men's action here on Court 1 between Waikato University and the Otago Nuggets. The Nuggets have set the stall out as one of the teams to beat in the men's comp. Can the youngsters from Mulu country get one over their NBL opponents? Find out here after the break on Sky Sport. Welcome back to ILT Stadium South, and you're with us on Sky Sport 1, Court 1. The action here in Waikato University about to take on the Otago Nuggets. Over on Court 2, on Sky Sport 2, women's action between Tuatara Pacifica and the Taranaki Thunder.
Yeah, this Nuggets team, that one which not as they were expected to be really, really good with Todd Withers, just not able to play, but they have impressed with how well they've been playing. Currently 5-1 record, and were they the only team to knock off the Whai? No, they're not, I don't think so. I think they're still one of the teams that you expect to be in the Final Four, as long as you don't play one of the other 3 teams in an earlier spot than the semi-finals.
You see the teams there: Daniel Dobson, Jaden Tafale, Peter King, Tamare van der Leiden for Waikato University, and for the Nugs, Matty Bardsley, Robbie Coleman, Joe Ahi, and led by 3x3 Tall Black Nico McCulloch, who has lived up to the hype so far in the 3x3 Schick Cup. And this young team from Waikato had a big win over the Hawke's Bay Hawks. And speaking to some of them afterwards, just saying how cool it was to, you know, even be on the same court as Jared Kenny and Ethan Ruspatch, let alone beat them. So, great moment for them.
So all 4 of them are the ones which are heading away to Turkey, right, for the international games. 3 of them.
They're one down, three of them down. Peter King coming into the team to fill the void. I was talking to young Daniel Dobson, who is no stranger to the sporting arena, of course, son of great sports broadcaster Howard Dobson, or commonly known as Dobbo.
Yep.
Who I used to work with on Sports Tonight on TV3. Geez, almost 10 years ago now, and I remember young Daniel was a 12-year-old coming into the office with his old man.
And he got the bug, didn't he?
Certainly did. A great career as a schoolboy at Hamilton Boys. There he is on the right of your screen. Now at Waikato University. And off in the not too distant future to Turkey, to the World Tertiary Champs. Or University Games, I guess they're probably called.
Yeah, so I think this is just... Well, I wonder if after Turkey they'll say this was the hardest thing by far, or this was the ideal preparation and really prepared us. I think it's going to be the latter. And they start us off here with a very quick 2 that just is a little bit long.
Matt Bardsley's excelled at 3x3 this week as Robbie Coleman goes to work. Dobson doing well to defend Big Robbie. And here is King from the Schick 3x3 logo off to the right. Out of bounds it goes. Yeah, I'm impressed with Matt Bardsley. His athleticism showing through, and be a horrible man to guard given he's all bone and muscle.
Yes, and he
not an ounce
just
of fat on him.
Speed as well.
And he can jump out the gym as well. The 27-year-old out of Palmerston North Boys High School getting the first point in this one.
And that was one of his slowest, I guess, most simple shots that I've seen him take. Just going to the basket under control, and then I'll go up and shoot it.
Dobson finds King. Nice recognition from Dobson. Peter King does the rest for 2. Here's Bardsley, thought about the 2. Might go to work here. Matty Bardsley spinning. Nice pass, McCulloch in the corner. Dobson does well with the rebound. Van der Leiden gets Coleman to bite. And you can tell these guys play a lot of 3x3.
Yes.
As Peter King gets another 2 to go, 4-1. Speaking of playing a lot of 3x3, Nico McCulloch plays it all around the world these days. You can't get that one to drop. Van der Leiden and the University boys are shooting well to start this one. 6-1, early lead over the Nuggets. What can Nico do? Just can't get it to drop.
It looked like it was going to, didn't it? We've seen a number of shots. You think they're going to miss, and then they've bounced around and dropped in. So I guess the 3x3 players enjoying the rims on offense here, as there's been a number that have gone in like that.
Coleman wanted a whistle, but the whistle was not coming. So Van der Leiden thought about the 2. Buys himself a bit of space, but instead he deputises to Dobson, who can't get it to go. King and McCulloch fighting over the board. And Dobson fouled by Nico. So to the line goes Dobbo Jr.
And I think the Waikato University team, they said we're not the tallest team, so the 2-point shot is our friend for sure. That's the primary thing they're looking for. As you said earlier in one of the other ones, like you get, a third more points relative to 5-on-5 basketball every time you shoot it compared to a 2 and a 3.
Bardsley dropping it off to McCulloch. 2 University players with him right there. McCulloch says, thank you very much. I'll take the easy mid-ranger and a much needed point for the Nuggets. It's been a while between drinks as Tafele puts up a 2 that's short. Here's Jaden Tafele. Shot beautifully yesterday in that game over the Hawks.
Great rebound there as well. That was King just going in, and you can see Waikato is just, we'll get the rebound, we'll immediately take it out and look for another 2 again.
5 on the shot clock for Bardsley. Joe Ahi into the game now. Bardsley needs to get it up. Great defense from Tafele, but the bank is open for Matty Bardsley.
I think the defense was so good it forced that shot to be a little bit offline for Bardsley, but it ended up being perfect for the bankers. Great drive and finish there, straight to the rim for King.
Step back, looking for the bank as well as Nico. That doesn't drop. Good defense from Bardsley. And Nico McCulloch right in there as well. I think it's going to be red ball, so the Waikato University team will go from the top.
See, they're pretty much all business, aren't they? Well, both of these teams just going about it, wanting to play exactly right. Minimal talking, which we've seen a few times just in terms of communication and when you want to switch and things like that. And that's, you still want to keep the communication, but more importantly, you want to make sure everyone knows what our principles are. Do we switch every single screen? Do we have some matchups we need to keep consistent the whole way through? And do things change when the shot clock is running down?
So Tafele, Nico McCulloch, good defense on Van der Leiden down low. There is Nico. Putting on his dancing shoes. Down the lane he goes, changes his shot mid-air. Big Robbie looking to do the rest for 1. Well, every bucket for the Nuggets is tough to come by, which is a credit to this Waikato University defense. Meanwhile, Jaden Tafele puts up a 2-ball, leaves it a bit short. 2 of the Uni boys go right after it.
I'm surprised that sign didn't fall over then. They did well to land and just keep their balance there. It's 7-5 now. The Nuggets, you see, every shot's been hard, but they're staying close and in touch here. Hoiho around to Coleman.
Here's Coleman in the corner. High arcing 2-ball that tickles the twine. Robbie Coleman Dobson looking to fire at one of his own. Here's Coleman, the Aucklander, studying up Otago Uni. Finds Joe Ahi rocking the headband today, just a thin headband for Joe Ahi.
You can only see it on the back half of his head as you see the Coleman.
Got his Hugh Grant locks covering the rest of it. Does Joe Ahi? There it is. Notting Hill action on the bonds for Ahi. As Coleman, who himself used to have long hair, cut it off. Gets rid of it. Dobson from the wing doesn't drop. And Waikato Uni shooting the lights out to start this game. Need to refine that form as Bardsley with a bouncy step back.
It wasn't a bad shot. You could have had Bardsley on the cut wide open. Ahi, though, decided to shoot it here as we see the inside finish for Coleman. Thinking there is if you miss the two, most likely we will get the offensive rebound as well with our guy at the rim.
Bardsley inside to McCulloch. Tafele. Good defense on the 3x3 Tall Black. Then leaving back to Jaden Tafele. 2-ball up. Rebounded by Bardsley. Here's McCulloch. Thought about the two. Puts it to the floor. Rangy step back from Nico. And that is pure from Nico McCulloch for two. And the Nuggets now with a 3-point lead. As the shooting's dried up a wee bit for Waikato University. Dobson would love this to go. Might be a little short. It is.
You know, Otago at the moment looking like why they were one of the teams that we said has really performed well and you expect to see towards the business end of the competition.
Coleman, that's just dropped on the line.
But there is no teams, pretty much you say, they just have no chance whatsoever. Any team capable of getting hot, and you know, we've seen upsets, we've seen Tavaka Pacifica, the women's team knock off one of the Auckland Dream yesterday. It's one of the beautiful things about 3x3, just you get hot at the right time, you can just knock off some big time teams.
Seen the West Coast Rapids beat the Saints and the Hawks.
Yes.
And that'll be Rapids ball.
So yeah, everybody can play here.
Waikato University ball, I should say, sorry. Same colours as the West Coast Rapids. The red and white, but Jaden Tafele, nephew of Jets coach Natu. This is back underway. Here he is, looking for the two. Coleman puts him off the shot, so Van der Lieden shoots it from the other side. While between buckets, it's been for Waikato University here as Robbie Coleman goes to work. Tafele with a good defense, and Van der Lieden goes to get the rebound.
The thing I like about Waikato,
miscommunication there.
I was going to say, I like their pace and their spacing on offense there, and they just seem really a pretty good understanding of what sort of things they want to look at that sort of screen away and slip, and they're taking a timeout here, I think, to just reset. As you said, they found points very hard to come by over the last couple of minutes.
Smart timeout there, called from Daniel Dobson. And the Nuggets, as we see, talking things through as well. Coming out next on both courts, if you're watching from Whakatu, Nelson, you've got a couple of channels to keep an eye on. 12:45 here on Court 1, Sky Sport 1. The Nelson Sparks take on Northland Phoenix. And over on Sky Sport 2, the Nelson Giants take on Northland United. So also if you're up in Northland as well, you've got two channels to watch as both Northland teams take on both Nelson teams in men's and women's 3x3. Inside to Robbie Coleman. Foul from Peter King, so Coleman will go to the line to shoot one.
Yeah, it's just so hard to score there, isn't it? Like, you know there's going to be contact, and the general rule is don't give up an easy layup or a dunk, just take the foul in that situation. Or you do let them go and you space out ready to shoot a two as quickly as you possibly can. Coleman earns the one from the Sky Sport line. And now we're 7-11.
4 on the shot clock. King trying to find a bit of space around the Sky Sport free throw line. Dobson, good offensive ball. Back to King. But a couple early on. That one well off to the left. And still, a long time between buckets here for Waikato University. But still not out of this one. 11-7 the score.
Yeah, they need to hit some. That's the difference between playing well and playing not. Your Nelson Giants boys remember saying, what are we doing wrong day one? And the answer was nothing except for putting the ball through the hoop.
King. Back to Van der Lieden. Wide open, and that'll be a bit of relief for Waikato University, and they make it a 2-point game. He's going to thread through the gap. He had Coman. He still wants Coman. He eventually finds Coman, and the 2-ball rattles in from Robbie Coman.
I think he wanted Coman to cut. Coman said, hey, I've been hitting twos. I want to shoot twos. And Coman was the one who was right. Good, strong drive. Misses there. It's great defensive rebound there. Number 9, Dobson, just getting up strong to get that one.
Coman looking for Ahi. Good hand from Tamari Van der Lieden. Dobson trying to get Bardsley to bite, and does, and then driving. Uses the hoop. That is a lovely drive and finish from Daniel Dobson, knowing that he had the athletic Matt Bardsley behind him.
Yeah, and then Bardsley says, well, I'll do this sort of just running, leaning floater shot.
Kisses it off the glass, and there's a step back 2 from Tamari Van der Lieden that's off. Joe Ahi goes to get it. 14-10. This one could go the whole way. That pass picked off the shoelaces by Matt Bardsley. Nico McCulloch eager to get off the bench. It's been a while between the break here as Dobson leaves the 2-ball short. Bardsley looking to turn the corner. Van der Lieden would have shot the 2 if he gathered it a little cleaner. Instead he drives, and that comes out. Scrappy stuff from these two teams at the moment.
It is.
Bardsley bounces it off his shoe.
It's a long time between whistles. There we go. We've got a whistle now.
And in comes Nico McCulloch. It's a long time for the Nuggets to play without potentially the best player in the competition. As Matt Bardsley said in an interview yesterday after another win, said, well, it's good having Nico on your team.
Yes. It's nice, isn't it? The Bardsley looked like he could have dealt with it.
And Nico straight off the bench, gets himself wide open too. Rolls around the rim and doesn't drop. Here's Dobson. Had a little wee look at the rim and then drives. Good defense from McCulloch this time. Oh, McCulloch just a wee slip. Buys himself some time though. Oh, everything but the finish. Nico McCulloch frustrated with himself. Tofele can make him pay even more. Not this time. Out of bounds.
Yeah, I think his foot was on the line just before he jumped. Both teams will have a substitution here, so the last 100 seconds, well, just under that. Waikato down by 4 points here.
Tofele wide open for 2. That one goes. He'll be happy to see that one go through, make it a 2-point game. Minute 25 to go here on court 1.
So they never give up, do they? The Waikato team make everything hard, keep fighting all the way to the end. Down by 3 points here, so expecting them to keep looking for 2s if they can.
Thompson aware of the shot clock, had to get that up. Who's that come off? Regan Ashley with a tough decision to make, and it will be Nuggets ball.
Well, right there, it may have been off the Nuggets at the end. I couldn't quite tell. Looked like it was off Waikato hands, but then potentially Nuggets foot. And this is just checking, did they have control at all, or should the shot clock be 12? It is. Full 12 seconds here for the Nuggets.
Culloch driving, contact, no whistle. It's a deck. Nico needs to get up quickly, and he does just in time to prevent a Dobson 2, but Dobson takes it anyway.
I think the fact that McCulloch was on the ground just threw him for a little bit, just to say, oh, actually, I do need to shoot this.
9 seconds on the shot clock.
So shot clock will be on 9 seconds here for the Nuggets. 46 remaining in the game, so a couple of possessions for Waikato. They need some points now, as McCulloch says.
I'll take 2 of them.
Even more.
Made it a lot harder for Waikato University.
And that's probably going to be enough for the game here. 17-12 with 30 to go. We do have a free throw attempt here. The basket won't count.
Peter King will go to the Sky Spot line to shoot one.
Yeah, both teams looking like this has been a hard game. Like the defense has been there, the spacing out by both teams. And then the contact and the fouls inside are pretty physical as well.
So Robbie Coman to the line.
see just how fast 3x3 is. The last free throw attempts were 30 seconds on the clock. We've only lost 2.1 seconds for a shot, clear, back in, and then a foul straight away.
Needs to go for Waikato Union. It does from Jaden Taufele. So just a glimmer of hope in the three-point game. 20 seconds on the clock. Nico McCulloch well aware the clock is his friend right now as he fires it to Matt Bardsley. Oh, that's the athleticism of Matt Bardsley. What a finish. Taufele again. Can't get it to go. Van der Leyden with a good rebound. And Taufele knows he has to retreat. Look for a two ball. And that'll do us in this one. 19-15, a spirited start from Waikato University, but the Nuggets using every inch of their talent and experience to claw their way back into this one and end up 19-15 winners. Continue their stellar record in the Schick 3x3 Cup in the men's competition.
Yeah, so 6-1 they'll finish up pool play, which I think will lock them into the number 2 spot in the standings. Waikato University 3-4, but we've got to 2-5. We have to wait for other results just to see where they'll finish. 6, 7, or 8, somewhere around there at the end.
After we hear from Robbie Coleman and have a quick break, there will be some action if you're from Northland or Nelson. Both your teams in action on both Sky Sport 1 and Sky Sport 2 as the Sparks play the Phoenix and the Giants play United. For now, let's hear from Robbie Coleman, who's with Justin Nelson.
Thanks very much, Robbie. Another win. Just preparing for the battles ahead, and it's going to get harder from here, isn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty outstanding performance from the boys. Like, get it done, go to round of 16 this afternoon. You know, we've got Bardsley, the muffin man, coming delivering, so it's like, we should be good.
How's the feeling amongst the group?
Oh, the camaraderie between the boys is great. Like, coming off the championship, like, we're all tighter than ever, so it's just a great environment to be down here.
And how's it been for a player like yourself coming into 3x3, having someone like Nico McCulloch and the experience that he brings to the table?
Yeah, Nico's like an unreal 3-on-3, but he's an unreal 5-on-5 player as well. And just like an unreal guy, so it's like great to have him in the environment. He's helping us out heaps, so it's like, yeah, it's great.
Body holding up?
Yeah, I'm a young'un, so it's fine.
Hey, best of luck in the playoffs.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
With Justin Nelson, thanks for your time. We'll take a break here and a change in commentary plaza as we'll leave you in the capable hands of Justin Nelson and Casey Frank. Sky Sport 1 after the break, Nelson Sparks, Northland Phoenix. Sky Sport 2, Nelson Giants, Northland United. Stay with us on the home of sport, Sky Sport.
Welcome back to ILT Stadium, Southland. Great to have you with us. The 2022 Schick 3x3 Cup. Women's pool game coming up as we creep our way towards the first round of the playoffs. Crossovers not too far away. Nelson Sparks and the Northland Phoenix are coming your way shortly, right here on Court 1 at this wonderful venue. Of course, all the action this morning on Court 1. Here on Sky Sport 1 on Court 2. You can catch all of that on Sky Sport 2. And when we talk about the playoffs, all the teams now know the 128 players who are here with us for this fabulous national competition here at ILT Stadium Southland in Invercargill. They do know right now that it is about looking ahead to those all-important matchups, and they do start a little bit later on this afternoon. Justin Nelson with you. We aren't far away from a start here between the Sparks and the Phoenix. And we can tell you that we're starting to receive word on who will be playing who in some of those games coming up. 1:45 p.m. in this session. We know the Whai will be taking on Pouakai Pacifica in the men. That will be the crossover there. And we also know at the same time over on court 2, the Gold Rush in the women's competition will be taking on Northland Phoenix. So slowly but surely over the next half hour or so, we will start winding our way towards those all-important crossover matchups. Here, we're about to start between the Sparks and the Phoenix. Sparks 3-3 during pool play at the moment. The Phoenix still searching for their first win. Maybe it'll come now in preparation for that crossover matchup they got against the Gold Rush in the not too distant future. Casey Frank joins me in the commentary box, and it has been a constant change in the commentary box non-stop, hasn't it?
It has, but it's been good fun being able to move around, see all the games. I think I finally have got my eyes on all the teams and players now. It's been a tough time to go. Most of those have been during my off sessions, because when you're locked in on the commentary, you got to be locked on in this game. And I'm excited to see the Phoenix try and get their first win. You know, they've been close a couple of times, but they're looking for that complete and total performance that has so far eluded them.
Well, and how about the Sparks? They've literally been down a player almost since the opening game, as we see Maya Jones get off to a lightning start for the Sparks. She has been one of the stars here at the Schick Cup, a scoring machine.
And that star is shining bright. The load that she's carrying, and as a team, you know, Timo, Bessa, it's all been very difficult for them as a crew to just not have a sub this entire time. A reasonably young team, but they have done so well with the mental adversity, as we see Nisbet get that finish on the drive there.
So off to a 3-1 start for the Sparks now. And they're right in the middle of that ladder in this particular pool. We don't know who the matchup for the Sparks is going to be in the crossover just yet. It's a hot battle in both the men's and the women's competitions as all the teams sort themselves out through this last round of pool play.
Absolutely, and you're wanting to play your best basketball when you go into the crossovers, because that's when it all starts to really count. You can't get those losses. You see Maya Jones with solid fronting defense on Bitalia Tualave in the post there. And this might be a game where the Phoenix can take advantage of a bit of size inside, although this Spark squad has fought valiantly all week long.
Coming up after this one, more men's 3x3, the Hawks and the Bulls. Shot clock violation there for the Phoenix. Schick replay here. Haramaya out on the wing. Just couldn't get that shot off.
So close.
In time, yeah.
And those are the shots that just crush you when you're finally playing some good basketball. Get that one to go, as we see a nice move.
Yeah, Nisbet again to the basket. Just saw a shot there of one of our officials, Melanie O'Connor, of course, who she's got to be up to about 420 NBL games these days, and just can't get enough of basketball. She's running around here at the Schick Cup as well.
Yeah, if you're going to be a lifer, you might as well stick in it for keeps. And Melanie O'Connor certainly looks like a basketball lifer with her effect on the game as an official.
No doubt about that. Here's Tess Morrison firing away. What are the chances here for the Sparks through the playoffs? Because they are down to the 3 players. Reva Walker-Pittman unfortunately succumbing to concussion in that opening game here at this competition. And they've had to go with the 3 and no subs all the way since then, as Maya Jones drops another long outside shot, I should say. It's going to be difficult, isn't it?
It's going to be difficult, but look, the name of this game is hitting the 2 ball. And if you've got a player that can get hot and hit 2s, you've got to give yourself a chance. And Maya Jones is the equal, if not superior, to every shooter in this competition. It's giving the Sparks a real chance when she starts to get hot.
Well, they lead this one by 2. That score will tick over in a moment. It is 6-4. In and out for Lasonga Ape. Couldn't capitalise there
for the Phoenix. And while she can shoot from outside, she can also get to the hoop, Maya Jones. She adds another one for the Sparks. They lead this one 7-4 now.
Tessa Morrison with the foul there as Talulia Palago went to the cup for the finish, couldn't take the contact, but needs this one to move their team. The Phoenix just down to 2 points. Can't get it, but Vitalia Tuolave on the glass, making her effect felt.
7-5 the score now. We apologise for the on-screen score ticker. We'll get that fixed up for you shortly, but it is an 8-5 lead now for the Sparks as they work defensively against this Phoenix team. Still searching for their first win of the Schick Cup. Tuolave, strong rebound. Had it ripped out of her hands, though, by Nisbet.
Yeah. Vitalia Tuolave, a very promising player, as we see Tessa Morrison with a strong drive and left-hand finish. But she is still young, and some of this physicality, I think, for the younger players, especially the post players, it can be a lot as we see Vitalia Tuolave finish on the nice pick-and-roll action.
9-6 scoreline at the moment. Sparks leading as Morrison fires away.
And now we're down to 6 minutes and 28 seconds left in this ball game. As you stated, a 9-6 lead to the Sparks, who I think may even be surprising themselves with the way they've dealt with the adversity this week and losing a player. You mentioned it was in the first game. It was just about in the first minute of that first game.
Yeah, it was early, yeah.
They have not had a lot of subs this entire time, but have dealt so well with the mental challenges. Maya Jones!
Another one.
Letting it fly.
11-6 is the score at the moment. We'll keep you up to date with that. Just over 6 minutes of play left in this game.
Really using the entire shot clock, showing things happen. And Tessa Morrison loves it from outside. Nice space given to her there, and hand down. Well, bucket's going in.
13-6 the score line at the moment. Phoenix looking to add some more here through Lasongiape. Haramaya gets the rebound and the putback. They go up 13-7. Sparks lead this one. Lots of fans of basketball through the Marlborough region, and of course Nelson is a big basketball city. The Sparks in action here, I can tell you, over on court 2 at the moment. The Nelson Giants applying their trade here at the Schick Cup.
With another block. That was a really nice defensive transition, but the Phoenix recovered well.
Here's Nisbet from downtown. That one in and out, gets her own rebound, off the glass, scores another. 14-7 the score now.
The dexterity shown. First to keep her feet in bounds on the save, put up the double, but not get it and then follow. Really impressive by Nesbitt's effort there.
Talking about those passionate fans throughout the Nelson region as Tessa Morrison adds another 2. 16-7 the score now. You've been to the Trafalgar Centre a few times during your illustrious career, Casey Frank, and you've come up against a lot of those locals in the stands.
Oh, I got to say, I love playing in Nelson. Mostly because I got a lot of wins there and the fans hated me. It was really enjoyable just feeling the anger and walking away with wins. But what a fantastic place to play. Great fans down there, great supporters of the game, and it has been a hotbed for talent in both the men's and women's games throughout the years.
Sparks leading 16-7. I mentioned the Nelson Giants, who are over on court 2 at the moment. You can catch that on Sky Sport 2 right now. No doubt Nelson fans will be flicking between the two games. 16-7 the lead for the Sparks. I was talking to Sam Dempster yesterday afternoon, and he mentioned that Mike Fitchett had updated his NBL Giants that pre-season starts next week.
Jeez, Fitch.
I saw the look on Sam's face and the way he hobbled off after that conversation, and I'm not too sure that Sam will be a part of that opening run.
I got to tell you, I'm not sure the Giants are paying any of these guys enough money to start the preseason now. Goodness. Can we at least get to 2023 before we start the 2023 prep?
He's a very convincing coach, Mike Fitchett. You should know that.
Look, he's done a fantastic job of getting, at times, an under-talented squad.
Well, they were minor premiers this year in the Cells NBL.
That's true. And a lot of that was given to the coaching abilities of Mike Fitchett, getting that squad ready.
Actually, I'll take that back. They
were close. They were close. They were there for quite some time until the Taranaki Mountaineers. I think they ended up equal on wins, but because Taranaki, who I once again called the Mountaineers, they're the heirs, but they got it on countback. As we see the Sparks nearly finishing this one as far along as getting stuck in the key. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Got to do something quickly. Need an explosion of twos. And that, unfortunately, is not part of the plan if the Phoenix want to get on the board here.
18-7 is the score. Just working with some technical gremlins off behind the scenes to get that score ticker back up there for you. But we can tell you that the Sparks are well on the road to victory here. And no doubt it's got a lot to do with that player, Maya Jones, firing away again. Nisbet keeps it alive for the Sparks. Morrison back inside to Nisbet. Great setup by the Sparks. They move to 19-7.
This is a trio that is playing so well together. Absolutely dominating this performance with their teamwork and ingenuity with one another. Of course, the shot making isn't so bad either. 19-8, the lead, 11 points to the Sparks. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in this one.
So we do know that this Phoenix team in those...
Oh, what a pass!
Oh, that was hot. They will be crossing over against the Gold Rush. Not too sure about the Sparks yet. Phoenix try and get some late points here. Maybe an opportunity. Haramaya.
Had a chat to the Sparks girls this morning as we see another Maya Jones block, 3rd in a row. I'm pretty sure that ability came from Kat because I don't remember Phil playing defense. I'm sure he's gonna text you soon and let him know that I need to stop talking smack about his game.
He might be texting you in a moment.
19-8 the lead to the Sparks. As we take another look at that beautiful pass from Maya Jones, stuck on the baseline, able to find Nisbet underneath. Didn't get the bucket, but I still love the pretty bit of skill on display.
You do know that Phil has got all of our contact details, don't you?
I'm not too worried about it. He only really wants to, if I say something that's not true, he knows what the truth is.
Of course, Phil Jones, a big part of our Sky Sport commentary team through the Sal's NBL season. 19-9, it's a 10-point margin. The Sparks headed for victory here, and it may come right now as Maya Jones finds Sabasa Nisbet. Can't convert though. And I think the Sparks will be happy with this opportunity to run into a little bit of form ahead of the crossover playoffs.
Most definitely. I think they were a little bit down when they lost a teammate and were unable to have that substitution, but as they've gone along, got more and more wins and some wins against some top teams, I think their confidence is high and they're feeling good physically and certainly playing great basketball.
Songiape under a bit of pressure on that shot. Nisbet for the win. That won't go. Maya Jones steps it out.
She wants
no one
win.
goes near her.
There it is.
Well, that's what happens when you don't close down Maya Jones. And the Nelson Sparks have won this one 21-9. And they now progress through to what is going to be some important matchups coming our way, Casey, on Sky Sport. The playoffs start with crossovers between the two pools, and I've got a feeling we may see some upsets.
No, there's no doubt about it. I think at this point, you don't want to be comfortable. These teams that are playing great basketball and they're going with a lot of confidence, I do think there's going to be a chance that things aren't going to be going their way. You're going to have to come in on that razor's edge ready to go, and who knows about razor's edge right now is Tessa Morrison, who's over with you, Dana.
Thank you, Casey. Yeah, here with Tessa Morrison. Timo, you guys have been well documented now with 3 players for the majority of this competition, but you are racking up the wins. Another one, a great start to the day.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. It's definitely hard with just 3 players, but we're pushing through, doing some little things, trying to waste as much time as we can when we need to. But yeah, it's working out well for us.
And you found your form there from 2-point range. Nice to see it. Got 3 or 4 going in that one.
Yeah, it's definitely getting there. It's been a long week, but yeah, hopefully onwards and upwards.
Honorary Nelsonian for this competition, but playing with some Pouakai teammates. You guys didn't have any time together to train or anything, but you can see you getting better throughout the tournament. Is that chemistry and that cohesiveness coming together?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're a really good group on and off the court, so yeah, we're definitely getting there. The more we play together, the better it gets.
And the more you play, the bigger the target on Maya Jones's back comes from her opponents. Are you noticing that when you're playing alongside her?
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to shut her down. She's doing really great job to handle the pressure, but now Buster and I have got to pick up our games as well.
Keen eye on the standings and the fixtures. Any idea who might be coming your way later?
I think potentially Whai, although there's been a couple of upset games this morning, so I'm not sure. But yeah, hopefully Whai.
Win, Timo. Best of luck for the rest of it.
Thanks, Hugh. Great to catch up there with Tess Morrison, and it really is that unknown that's coming up in the playoffs. Coming up next, though, right here on Court 1. Looking forward to this one. We head back to the men's competition, and it's going to be the Hawks and the Bulls. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Welcome back to ILT Stadium, Southland here in Invercargill. Fantastic facility in the Deep South. Daytime action here on day 3 at the Schick Cup as we head down towards the finals. Big session coming up tonight. Can't wait for that. The local crowd will be filing in for that one. And of course, tomorrow night, it is back-to-back finals, playoffs, classifications, and of course the all-important 2 championship games as we work our way towards crowning the 2022 national champions of New Zealand in 3x3. Hawks and Bulls coming up. Justin Nelson and Casey Frank with you. Looking forward to this one.
Most definitely. These are 2 teams that are playing very well. Obviously, Jaden Bazant, one of the premier players. Ethan Rusbatch, one of the leading scorers in the competition over the first 2 days. But these are 2 teams that are well-versed and well-suited to the game. I think the Hawks in particular have been just dipping their toe in the water. Ethan Rusbatch, Ezra Smiler, Jared Kenny, James Lovings make up that squad. And they're still getting used to the speed, especially Jared Kenny, who wasn't exactly in game shape. A late call-up, he's in. Coming against this Bull squad, Christian Martin, Josh Ledger, Jaden Bazant, and Jet Thompson, who are just a fantastic quadrant of players. Josh Ledger manning the middle. He's been fantastic, blocking shots, getting rebounds, and the other 3 players, stellar on the perimeter with their shooting and defense. I think coming in, the Bulls would have fancied their chances. And this is going to be a good test for both squads as we move towards pool play and the knockout round where you got to win or go home.
One player that you have been impressed with is Christian Martin. You mentioned him there a moment ago, and what this competition has provided, the national championships here in New Zealand, is the opportunity for some of the young stars to rise, and he's one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a couple of good games this year for the Bulls in the Sal's NBL and started to show a little bit of his potential, but that's one of the things I love about this format, especially for young players. You have so much responsibility heaped on your shoulders, and it's not responsibility of a coach coming to you and saying, hey, you have to do this, do this. You have to make these decisions in your head on the fly, on the court. Oh, it's a quick turnaround. I have to find a defender. I have to talk. And it really does increase, I think, these young players' level of knowledge on the fundamentals of the game and how quickly you have to perform them. But more than that, so it's the opportunity to carry these loads, offensively, defensively. Everybody's got to hit shots. Everybody's got to get stops. There's no hiding behind veterans out here when there's only 6 players on the court at all times.
Looking ahead, coming up after this one, the last pool game. What a journey it has been over the last couple of days. The Southland Storm and the Southern Hoiho. That'll be the final pool game, and then of course it all starts. After that one, the Storm and the Hoiho coming up next, but right now we're about to get into the Hawks and the Bulls. Enjoy this one. And the Hawks, haven't actually fared that well through pool play, Casey Frank, but you just know when those crossovers start in the very near future, they are a sneaky chance.
Look, let's be honest. Jared Kenny hasn't put his foot on the pedal yet. He's a veteran who's making sure that his body's ready for the last 2 days, which are much more important, as always, than the first 2. Now, they need these wins, as we see Ethan Rusbatch show off part of his full skill set. But I think more important for them is to get through healthy so they can really fire up, as we see Chris Martin let it fly and let Jared Kenny know about it.
I'll tell you what, young fella, you got to be very careful letting a player like Jared Kenny know about something like that, because there's a fair chance JK won't forget as Rusbatch nails the 2. Here is Martin in the left corner, and he goes back-to-back for the Bulls.
Oh my, look at him and Ethan Rusbatch trading baskets, misses that one. Jet Thompson with the rebound, and the action is fast and furious. Somebody call Vin Diesel.
Oh, look out as Martin goes for 3 in a row. I did notice the grin on your face when you saw young Christian Martin give JK a bit of a sneaky look.
And I don't know if Jared Kenny or the Kennedy Park Hawks will be too excited about the young fella talking that smack. But hey, that's what you do. You get some buckets. You get free. You get let off the leash. It's responsibility not only to play, but also to play that mental game as well.
Yeah, great to have Kennedy Park Resort backing the Hawks here at the Schick Cup. Of course, all the team partners are enjoying not only the action on the court, but the coverage right across Sky Sport. Foul called there. 4 apiece early.
Ethan Rusbatch having a laugh at it. I'm just stuck on the train tracks. The train comes through, and that's a foul on me. Shooting for Josh Ledger, who I've been really impressed with the way he's just imposed his physicality on the game over these last couple of days. A very talented youngster, especially defensively, had some big games blocking shots in the Sal's NBL this season.
Well, the Bulls may have run out of the white headbands because Ledger's out there in the black one as Jaden Bazant fires away from the corner. We know his prowess on a 3x3 court. Well, Smiler with the miss.
I'm just glad to see all 4 players headbanded up. It looked like the Chris Martin, Jaden Bazant show, but now we got Jet Thompson and Josh Ledger in the game. We got a full dojo. I'm going to call him Cobra Kai, I think. They're looking Cobra Kai-ish to me.
Oh, nice. Kenny to Rusbatch with the fake, not with the make though. Bulls lead by 1. Here's Jet Thompson turning on the afterburners, goes from the corner. Tough shot over the top of Jared Kenny.
Well, I am enjoying the banter between these 2 squads as Ethan Rusbatch shows a brilliant drive and finish. I love the way he finishes with one hand, using that offhand to hold defenders at bay.
A little bit of a goose step there from Jaden Bazant under the ring, and in the process was deemed to have carried the ball. There he is.
Man, you really got to carry the ball to get called for a carry. You really got to get that palm underneath.
Speaking of goose steps, saw Jared Kenny unleash a couple yesterday as he bangs a big double away. And the Hawks lead by 2. Ledger is held up. It's a make. And he's off to the Sky Sports stripe. Here's the Schick replay.
Well, that's the replay of the Jared Kenny double going through. One of these, by day 4, I'm going to know that it's 2s, not 3s. As Josh Ledger gets the N1 and unable to finish it.
Heads up play by the Hawks.
Oh, that's an excellent opportunity to score the basketball out of the corner off those free throw misses. And all the teams that haven't got a set play for that action are leaving something on the table.
Rusbatch just drops it behind the head, finds Jared Kenny. Back to Smiler on the charge to the basket. That was a nice finish.
And recognized how much time was left. Barely beat the shot clock as Ledger comes up short. Really liked what Ezra Smiler did before that. Putting the ball on the floor, using his quickness.
From the TAB logo, firing away, Ethan Rusbatch, usually odds on when he's on the TAB. Missed on that occasion. Here is Jaden Bazant.
Rocked him to sleep like a baby in a cradle, gave him the 2 jab steps and then clearing that space for the double. There we go. Look at that little baby crossover just to get his footing right and get off what I think is the prettiest jumper in the 3x3 Nationals this year.
Did you like that, by the way? Odds on from the TAB?
Very good. Very good.
No credit, though.
What is this? What is this, high school? You want me to write a note to your parents, Justin?
Well, some would say it's kindergarten most of the time.
It's not for my enjoyment. It's for the listeners.
Oh, you are a classic. You are a classic. When the puns are coming from the mouth of Casey Frank.
Oh, it's different if I say it. If I did, you got to give me credit. Come on.
Lots of fun. Ethan Rusbatch continues to fire away. This is a good contest right now as the Bulls go 3 up, 11-8. Jared Kenny. Rusbatch inside, nowhere to go. Good defense from Jet Thompson.
Well, he loves a bit of physical defense on the ball handlers coming through, and Rusbatch tried to muscle him but was unable to do so.
Here is Jet Thompson firing away.
Good spacing by Jared Kenny, getting to the corner, and Ethan Rusbatch finding his teammate quickly to nearly knock this one up. Hawks down 1.
Bulls and the Hawks here, Schick replay.
And there's that explosiveness of Chris Martin getting to the hole, and we just clipped it off right before Ethan Rusbatch really got physical and got binged for the foul.
Here he is at the Sky Sports stripe, misses that opportunity. Rusbatch quickly brings it out in transition. They're back into attack, the Hawks, with the up fake. Jared Kenny stepping back, and a second and a third time in the end.
Wow.
Josh Ledger somehow got a hand to that.
Great efforts, 3 attempts at a block on 1 play. James Levings, nice straight up and down defense, but Chris Martin once again shows the skill set that he's developing on the drive.
James Levings going to work inside for the Kennedy Park Resort. Hawke's Bay Hawks, who trail this one by 2 at the moment.
Oh, and 2 teammates bumping into each other, forcing Rusbatch to lose the ball. As things have gotten a little physical, affecting the efficiency of shooting.
I know you've liked, as Rusbatch gets to the hoop, the Bulls and the way they've just got better and better as this competition has gone on.
Yeah, it's been impressive. They're going from strength to strength, and if they can all play with that level of confidence and find the shooting as Ethan Rusbatch leaves a bunny bouncing, they are going to do some damage in the crossover. As all of a sudden somebody puts some saran wrap on the rim. Oh, Jared Kenny will take it off.
Well, he's nailed a couple from that corner in this game. He ties it up at 13 apiece. Still a long way to go.
I think he's starting to appreciate this format of the game as we see one rattle out for Jet Thompson. Hit every bit of the rim and refused to go down.
Kenny really starting to heat up here. He's in his favoured corner. He goes for home. Can't finish, but look at Ethan Rusbatch.
Oh, Johnny on the spot. Now the Hawks, the Kennedy Park Resort Hawks, have a 1-point lead with 3:40 to go.
Levings fires away. That one a little bit flat off the hand. Martin looking to take the lead for the Bulls, and he does. Basket for basket. Kenny fires away again. That one short. Martin, quickly on the floor. Explosive stuff. Ran into Jared Kenny. Levings now with the chance. Rusbatch, right place, right time.
Well, he's really doing some damage on the offensive glass as Josh Ledger drives hard and gets hacked. Jared Kenny with a soft disagree as we see Chris Martin really heads up play James Levings late on the transition to defense. He felt that space. He used that space to get the double.
We're talking about one of our partners here at the Schick Cup earlier on, the TAB. I know you're usually all over what's happening in that space. Who do you like from here, Case?
I mean, honestly, the 3x3 is so difficult to pick. It's just so much goes into it. A lot of it is just who gets hot at the right time. But if you're asking me, the teams that have put themselves in great positions to get things done, and I think I'm a little bit of a surprise. As a dark horse, I like the Taranaki. I like the Airs. They're playing well. They're shooting the basketball as good as anyone. I like their physical brand of basketball. And you know what? I think the way that the Otago Nuggets have been playing, they look like a favorite in my eyes. It's a beautiful move ball from Jaden Bazant to take the lead for the Bulls.
I think as you were mentioning the Airs and the Nuggets, Jaden Bazant might have overheard you and said, hey, don't forget about us.
Ethan Rusbatch trying to get the step back, doesn't, but Jared Kenny with a beautiful tip. Oh, Jared Kenny open for the 2-pointer. Oh, I really liked the play. Unfortunately, couldn't get it down.
Business end of this one. Bulls by 1 over the Hawks. Still Plenty of time on the clock as Bazant steps back and nails a massive 2.
Look at that, on the precipice of victory, 20-17. The Hawks need a little bit of desperation, especially on the defensive side, as Josh Ledger felt that he picked the pocket clean. Ethan Rusbach stands up. The call was a smack to the head. I don't know if anybody agrees, but the whistle has been blown.
So the Hawks now.
And that kills a big. When you pick a guard's pocket and get the foul call, that really hurts. As Rusbach coming back late, 2019.
And both teams in with the chance here.
Both teams only a shot away from victory. What a hand by Jared Kenny.
Called for the foul. That's the 6th on the Hawks. Schick replay here. There's that big double from Ethan Rusbach.
Both teams just one shot away from the win. Only needs to be a 1 for the Bulls, a 2 for the Hawks. Can the Hawks dig down deep to get one more stop? I like Martin on the drive.
Should finish from here, and great work.
Well, Rusbach has a chance in the corner if he gets there. Martin recovered.
Well, we've just seen him play some hot defense, Rusbach, but it's going to be Kenny with the shot.
A decent look at it.
Jet Thompson to the hoop, and there it is, the win for the Bulls. Putting the afterburners on, Jet Thompson, the young man, capitalizes on the opportunity. What a game that was.
Really nice job by the young fellas. Well, they're all young fellas on the Bulls, but Jet Thompson, Chris Martin carried a lot of the load in that game. The Hawks not playing their best basketball, and I think look to put a little bit more of a determined effort in this one. Unfortunately, for the Hawks fans, the Kennedy Park Resort Hawks fans, they were unable to get that victory. The Bulls, however, are going to be riding high into the finals with some confidence after that performance. Chris Martin, excellent. Josh Ledger, excellent. Jet Thompson got it going. And I think my favorite tradition of this squad now is Headband Alley, as whoever gets picked for the interviews got to wear them all. Yeah. So you send you over to James now to talk to Jaden Bazant.
All right, so it was like almost a nothing game for you guys in terms of where you stand. I think you were third at the start of the game, third no matter of a win or a loss. But how important was it to start feeling like you're playing pretty well? I think with a playoff game coming up pretty soon for you guys.
Yeah, we took a pretty chill approach to this game just because it doesn't really matter. So trying to save energy, look after the bodies a bit, and just prepare for the next couple.
Yeah, but then obviously once it gets down to winning time, then the intensity lifts a little bit. You're like, oh, there's actually a chance for a win here. Second question, you only had one headband on during the game, but your teammates have lent you their ones. What's the deal with those, and are they going to be a theme for the playoff games going forward?
Yeah, the headband was something that just happened pretty organically, and then why I'm wearing all of them, I have no idea.
Oh, it must be a team thing, I think. You can hopefully some
bonding for the Bulls, team bonding. Up the Bulls.
Exactly. So short rest, and you guys don't know who you guys are playing yet. It depends what's happening in the other games as well. But what's the key thing to do in the short gap you have now before your next game, which is far more important than the last couple of ones?
Yeah, hydration, nutrition. That's about it.
No, excellent. Thank you very much for the time, and all the best for the games going forward.
Cheers, mate.
Can we just interview Jaden Bazant after every game?
I love it so much.
Even when the Bulls aren't playing?
He's one of my favorite guys to have a yarn
every
with
game.
across basketball in New Zealand. He's just got such a great outlook on things. I always walk away from a convo with Jaden Bazant with a smile. He is really one of my favorite young players, up-and-coming guys in basketball in New Zealand.
I actually find I walk away from a conversation with Jaden Bazant usually asking what just happened.
But with a smile on your face about it. He's got a way. He's got a way about him, that fella.
Well, I do like the Cobra Kai Bulls, I think you called them at one stage during
Cobra
that
Kai.
game. They get the win.
But I got to let it know, this isn't original Karate Kid Cobra Kai. That's not the bad guys. It's the good guys from the remake.
Good guys.
Okay?
So there you go. The Bulls get the win. Their last pool game here at the Schick Cup. A 5-2 record they take into the playoffs. There is Jaden Bazant just trudging back across the court, conserving some energy by the looks of it as they head towards the crossovers. The Hawks finish 2-5 and maybe the bottom of their pool, but don't write them off.
No, absolutely not. I think that's a team that, with Ethan Rusbach, with Jared Kenny, they've got the ability to put points on the boards and defend when they need to. Like any team, things are going to have to go their way if they want to get to where they want to get. But they are dangerous enough to upset anybody if the hands are hot from beyond the arc.
Well, we're going to head to a break. You and I are going to have a conversation about puns. The Storm and the Hoiho coming up next. It's the last pool game in the women's competition. The playoffs aren't too far away. We'll see you soon.
The Storm into Laura Jackson.
Welcome back, day 3 here at the 2022 Schick Cup. Storm and the Hoiho about to take the court here on Sky Sport 1. And in fact, if you love the colour orange, get your remote control ready to flick between Sky Sport 1 and Sky Sport 2. We've got the Storm here and the Sharks are up the other end. What are you pointing out for me, Casey?
I'm just looking at the coin. It was sidelined. It wasn't going to go on its side. It went all the way down to the baseline. The girls actually had to pick it up. I'd never seen a coin roll 20 meters and stop dead flat on its edge.
Of course, coin toss at the start of every one of these games, and the winner usually starts with possession, and the loser, should we go to overtime, starts with possession at that point in the game. And well, we saw a number of overtime games yesterday, Casey, and we've already seen a couple this morning as well. And that's the beauty of 3x3. I mean, even in the dying seconds, anything can happen.
Absolutely. I think the excitement that this game is able to really make felt inside the gym and on TV is excellent. And you just never know. One of the things that I've enjoyed about it is when teams are down big, you're down 15-6, you're down 15-4, 4 or 5 shots in a row, bang, 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 you're right back in it. And it just really keeps everybody playing hard on the court.
Speaking of scoring, some of our leading scorers to the completion of yesterday's day 2. We'll have a look at those in a moment. Here's the lineups for the Storm and the Hoiho. Tinnick, Brown, Selby, Rickett, Jackson for the Storm, O'Connell, Mitchell, Gallagher, and O'Connell of the Gen variety for the Hoiho. Getting back to the leading scorers, we saw Maya Jones just before. She has been awesome. There's the leaders. This was to the end of last night's play here at the Schick 3x3 Cup. Malama Lupepi for Wellington. How good has she been?
She is playing so well. What a strong finisher. Has the ability to score it well from deep at the same time. A complete offensive game. Nicole Gleason has been a revelation from behind the arc. Of course, we've spoken about Maya Tiana Clark. Well, anybody who's paid any attention to the To'ihi this year knows about her shooting ability. 11 triples in a game there.
Game, yeah.
And of course, she's continued that form here. And Laura Jackson, who we've
about
got
to
in
see
this
her.
game, she's been impressive.
Yep.
I mean, a younger player. She's got this Storm team has a bit of tenacity to it. They've got some fight, but Laura Jackson, when she gets hot from deep, man, she is able to really create some scoring power from out there.
For those who have been following the men's competition here at the Schick Cup, we'll have a look at those leaders as well for you. There you go. We just saw Ethan Rusbatch in action, dropping a few more points. Of course, this was to the end of last night's play. Ethan Rusbatch leading the way. Ben Hall and Kaya Isaac, they've been so much fun to watch. And what about Scotty Telfer, the pest, the junkyard dog?
Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to be a pest anymore with the offensive ability he's showing here. I had a conversation with him earlier, and I just talked about, your footwork is improving so much from where it was a couple years ago when he was a player who wanted to have an impact in basketball. He wanted to do something with this. He's obviously a guy that has put the hard yards in on the gym. And when you see him now, he is a legitimate scoring threat. Obviously, that is evidenced by where he's sitting in the overall leaderboard on the scores of the tournament.
And before the break, we were talking about the TAB and the odds and everything happening in all of these games. It's been a bit of a wild ride, but one team that you said would be rocketing up the charts, so to speak, are the Airs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think after their last victory that just passed, I spoke to Ben Carlisle-Smith, and this is a team with a lot of confidence. They think they can beat anybody now. They didn't have a ton of experience in 3x3, but now that they've got a taste of it, they want another bite.
So set for a start here, the Storm to get us underway. Matty Tiddick, spin was delightful. The defense was just as good from Samara Gallagher. And look at Caitlin O'Connell, missed what she should have put away.
Does all the work, can't get the finish, and defense is on the head. Here we see a foul there being called on Tyler Mitchell, just impeding progress. And you know, I've had a couple of questions about the officiating, why there seems to be so much let go on the ball but not off the ball. You're more likely to. Well, one of the things of this game is they want freedom of movement away from the basketball. They're allowing some of that contact by the main defender on the ball, but away from the basketball, you can't get caught with your hand in the cookie jar because they want players to be able to move around and get free.
And I like that.
Yeah, it's really nice. As we see a huge trip there, or double there from Lucy Brown as she hits that one from deep. But it is an adjustment for players because it's the opposite of the 5-on-5 game where you have to be careful on the ball as you take a replay of Lucy Brown's double, but you have a little bit more freedom off. And it's just reversed in the 3x3 game.
One of the matchups to watch here, those two players involved just there, actually.
Jen O'Connell has this one circled, I think. She's pretty excited about this game against the Storm, wanting to prove a little something in here.
Yeah, Selby Rickett and O'Connell. The battle of the talls, the battle of the netballers.
We're not going to call them, everybody's a basketball here. We'll call them the two-code sports superstars.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point that you make. They are code crosses and they're doing a good job here in the Schick Cup 3x3. Samara Gallagher gets the opening point for the Hoiho. And they were one of the teams that I had a look at overnight, Casey. I know they're only 2-3 in pool play. In fact, that will have changed. They had an earlier game this morning. But I actually like the mix of this Hoiho team.
Yeah, speaking about that, had an earlier game today as we see the shot clock run out on the Storm. I had a quick chat with Jen O'Connell where she said, who stitched us up? We got 2 games before we start the crossover on day 3. So a little bit of extra basketball for them. But this is a team that's playing very well.
Well, they had an overtime thriller this morning.
Tyler
they
Mitchell.
nail another 2.
Man, she finds that range. If you give her a bit of space, that is an extremely quick release, and she's got a great mindset.
They went down to the Queens 18-16 earlier today on this court in overtime. That was a big finish. So they sit 2-4 at the moment. There's Caitlin O'Connell at the Sky Sport stripe. But as we've been talking about throughout today's play so far, here's session 1 on day 3. We know that when we get into the crossovers, which actually commence in the next game, Casey.
Yeah, it's right around the corner as Jackson drives hard to the cup to bring the Storm back to within 1. 8:02 left in this one. Been a little disjointed, and the ball's been going out of bounds a lot. We haven't seen that free-flowing action that I think all teams are getting more and more of as this tournament goes along.
Here's Jen O'Connell inside in that battle with Selby Rickett. Anything can happen in the crossovers, and we're expecting some very tough battles. We'll bring you up to speed shortly on some of those matchups that we know are coming our way. We can tell you that after this one in the men's competition, it will be the Whai taking on Pouakai Pacifica. That is number 1 in Pool A up against number 8 in Pool B. So that one is locked in.
Well, at least we got one lockdown. Oh, Tyler Mitchell doing it from outside, doing it from in with the drive and the soft touch with the kiss.
5-3 lead now for the Hoiho. Selby Rickett working well there. The bank is open as Laura Jackson bangs away another double and answering just as quickly Tyler Mitchell.
Oh man, I love that quick transition from defense to offense on the makes, especially when you're able to take advantage of just that moment of respite that the scoring team thinks they have. Well, they don't. You got to get back into it.
Jackson firing away quickly again. In fact, it was Maddie Tinnick on that occasion. Very similar looking players, aren't they, Laura Jackson and Maddie Tinnick?
They've got the long ponies with the blonde hair, a little bit different in size, but similar skill sets as well. Jumper's got a similar form to him, so I'll forgive you on this one, Justin.
Tinnick's got the bragging rights of being a couple of inches taller. A little bit like you and me, just a couple of inches between us.
Well, it is when we have to talk to each other on air.
Selby Rickett. Hands off to Jackson. That was a quick fire shot. Here is O'Connell. Oh, step back was nice. Couldn't complete. Jen O'Connell battling for it underneath. 7-5. Hoiho leading this one. 6:56 to go. We've got a check ball restart with Caitlin O'Connell.
Samara Gallagher hasn't really gotten affected in the game yet. Trying to get her the ball there. Let's see if that two can go down. Great defense there.
Oh, heads up play. Gallagher.
Follow up your own miss. She is just such a high work rate. She never stops moving on the court.
And one of the stories of the season as the big double is put away by Lucy Brown.
Gets it going again, and Gallagher tries to find her range, and now we're cooking with petrol.
10-7. Hoiho lead this one. Brown going in hard on Gallagher. Those two lighting this one up in the last 30 seconds or so. There is Lucy Brown. How about that?
Yeah, second two of the game. Now takes the foul as well. That shooting, I thought that was on the dribble, but she gets credit for being in the motion and see if she can do it from 15 feet, and she can.
Getting back to Samara Gallagher, here she is in action in the short corner. Just talking about being one of the stories of the season. How good has it been to see Samara back out there playing hoops?
I enjoy her game. I enjoy her attitude. You know, it's a smiling assassin. I call her that because she plays hard. She's out there affecting the people. She's throwing her body around. She's throwing her weight around, playing really hard, but always with a smile on her face and never with any malice of forethought. It's just I love the attitude, and certainly the skill set is impressive as well.
Oh, and look, I think a lot of that attitude and positiveness comes from the fact that, you know, if you do know the background on Samara and the concussion issues that she had, she's just happy and enjoying basketball, being back out there.
I mean, it is always a difficult thing for an athlete when the ability to play that game you grew up loving, that you grew up in, and a lot of times, essentially is your best friend. It's always there for you. It never goes away. And when that gets taken away from you, it's difficult. As a player who retired, I felt a lot of that at the end of my career, but it's just just so much more difficult when it becomes before your time really should be called. And such a great story that she's done the due diligence, that it's recovered to the effect that she can come back and play at a high level.
And here she is, right
off me.
Some aggression to the basket. Jen O'Connell finishes it off for the Hoiho. They lead by 2.
And it's fun to see the smiling assassin from here, but when you take that forearm to the chest and she smiles at you afterwards, maybe less so.
Here's the Schick replay. Look at that. Get out of my way. Here's Selby Rickett.
Oh, good recognition, seeing the shot clock, but what a block by Jen O'Connell.
Restart from the top. Chance there.
Oh, Lucy Brown open. That's one she'd like to have back, and she gets it back.
On the drive now.
Oh, get it
Samara
out.
Gallagher.
What timing. Shooter in the corner. Gallagher lets it fly after the block almost.
She was horizontal on that block. Now she fires away for 2. Look great
good.
Off the hand.
That looks so good off the hand. It was never going to miss. And the Hoiho extend the lead to 4.
And another block. Tyler Mitchell on that occasion. Jen O'Connell. Gallagher now taking contact at the basket.
Oh, my.
And a lot of it.
No foul on that one. That was a big body contact, but look at the block. There we see from Mitchell getting up and in defensively.
13-9, the Hoiho lead this one. Off in the distance on court 2. The Sharks in action against the Jets. Of course, you can see that right now on Sky Sport 2. But why not stay with us? Because we're enjoying this show by the Hoiho. As Caitlin O'Connell with a little look away fake pass.
Just used her speed there against Selby Rickard, getting the cup quickly. But Rickard pays it back. I'm going to use my size on the rebound.
Unable to put it away, Lucy Brown. What have you made of these two teams in this last pool game?
Well, I think they both have the next round on their minds right now. They're obviously playing hard, but they've got to know that, hey, we've got another one that really counts soon. Let's get through this one healthy and unscathed and hopefully get a win. But if not, it's not the biggest, worst thing in the world.
Playoff action commencing after this one.
Jen O'Connell, she chases some rebounds down outside of her cylinder, man. She's got the size to rebound in her cylinder, and by that I mean in your space. Wherever you are on the court with your feet on the ground when that ball comes off the rim, that's your cylinder with about a meter. But the skill to get out of that, to chase rebounds down and to get them out of there, that is probably the most important thing you can have as a rebounder, and she's got it in spades.
Gallagher looking for O'Connell. Wrapped up.
Fourth team foul called there on Lucy Brown, who's I don't know if you can tell, but she's given up a little bit in the physical attributes in that one.
Well, Selby Rickard is sitting at the moment, and that's why we've got that matchup between Jen O'Connell.
If I'm on the Storm, I'm telling Selby, hey, you're connected to Jen. When she comes in, you come in. When she goes to the bench, you go to the bench. You guys can have the same rest.
There is Selby Rickard. Got the arm up. Having a break. And let's see if Samara Gallagher, she knows the mismatch is there. Let's see what she does with it. She goes to the wing.
Well, the thing about Jen O'Connell's game is she's fantastic at most aspects of it, but not really a scorer. She's not the type of player that you can throw it down to the post and ask her to go to work, but she does have that size advantage, so you can set her up with an easy finish. She can make that, make the most of that.
These Storm guards are buzzing around at the moment.
Well, the defense of the Hoiho is really, really excellent at the moment right now. They're putting a lot of energy into the ball on the perimeter, not giving up any easy looks.
Margin by 4, and as Selby Rickard comes on, Jen O'Connell goes off. So now the mismatch is going back favour Storm.
But they're keeping an O'Connell on Selby Rickard. Unfortunately, it's the wrong one.
Storm add another point there through Lucy Brown. O'Connell to Mitchell for 2. Nice.
Too much time on that one. Tyler Mitchell lines it up and knocks it down. Oh, great read by Gallagher.
And a slick pass inside. Caitlin O'Connell looking to finish over Selby Rickard. 5-point margin, 16-11. Plenty of time left in this one. There's Brown. Steps back outside. That one comes up short. Samara Gallagher quickly to the corner. Hands it off to Tyler Mitchell. Can't convert. They keep it alive, the Hoiho.
A blow by Tyler Mitchell. Man, she's got a great understanding of her offensive capabilities in this one. Shoots when she's got space, drives when she doesn't.
Selby Rickard. Battle underneath.
Good fight there to take away the easy opportunity from Unic.
And she just did enough there, Samara Gallagher, to provide a little bit of space for Tyler Mitchell, who pounds another double through, and they're within 1 2-pointer from winning this one now.
Well, she doesn't need much space either. She's happy to let it fly with the defender right in her, but if you can just clear out her airspace just a bit with a screen or a quick pass, she's got a real good shot at knocking that one down. A late timeout here. With a 19-11 victory, the Storm looking for a little desperation to try and get the victory in the final 2 minutes and 10 seconds, down to 8. Stranger things have happened, but not many that have come back for the Storm here.
So some of the crossover action is starting to come through, Casey. We can tell you that right here on Court 1, men's crossover coming up, the Whai against Pouakai Pacifica. On Court 2, all of that action on Sky Sport 2 in this opening session on day 3. It'll be a women's crossover between the Gold Rush and the Phoenix. Of course, if you win, you're through to the top 8 in the playoffs. If you lose, you're through to the bottom 8 in the playoffs. I can also tell you that in the women, Pouakai will be matching up against the Wizards, and the Queens will be up against Pouakai Pacifica.
It's all coming together.
The Hoiho seeking victory here.
Good fake.
and fouled. Selby Rickett coming over the top of Caitlin O'Connell.
Look at that fake. Kind of gave her the dream shake a little bit before Jen O'Connell came in to try and get the rebound, but really nice job by Caitlin O'Connell of understanding the tools she has at her disposal in a matchup against Selby Rickert, using that quickness to the cup and then the ball fake to negate her height advantage in the shot block attempt.
Within one of victory now, the Southern Hoiho. And the Storm keep this game alive. Big block. In fact, too much contact in the end from Jen O'Connell. And if you think the action's been hot so far, Case, it's about to go up yet again.
I don't often talk about anything hot in Southland, but it's good that the action's going to keep on heating up.
Samara Gallagher from the corner to finish it off, and that'll do us. Hoiho get the win. 22-12. Impressive stuff, and I do like this Hoiho team ahead of the finals. I think they can cause some serious damage.
They can. The mix of skill set, Jen O'Connell manning the middle, or womaning the middle, so to speak, in the middle with her abilities as a defender, as a rebounder. The shooting ability, scoring ability of Tyler Mitchell, and overall excellence of Samara Gallagher, along with Caitlin O'Connell providing the spark that she's been providing off the bench, I think does make them a real threat. A lot of talent out there, and they're playing together well. And I think the most enjoyable thing in all of it is they having a good time.
Yeah,
they're enjoying it, and because it's so fun, we get to see that on the court and in the interviews. And we've got one now with Samara Gallagher's with Kat Jones.
Hey Sammy, what a finish. How are you feeling after that one?
Pretty cooked, to be fair. It's always a battle out there in this game, eh? Like, every possession counts, and yeah, even though that's our last pool game, the leagues are definitely feeling it, that's for sure.
I've got to say, I haven't seen you hit as many outside shots as I've seen in the last couple of games, so that's really good for you going forward. What are your keys to getting the win in the crossovers?
Just kind of sticking to our game. When we look to like run possessions and put the pressure on defense is when we're getting that transition into good looks. We've got some mean ass shooters with Tyler and Caitlin, and then that inside presence of Jen, and just kind of all sticking to our strengths. I think will help in these next couple of games. Yeah,
for sure. And you don't know who you've got just yet, but every game's always difficult. Who would you like to avoid going into the crossovers?
That's a very good question. Instantly I say Gold Rush because they're all our friends, and we've been battling it down south all week, but it's always great playing against them. So maybe one of the top teams like Dream and that, who are just stacked with talent. But I mean, at the end of the day, a game's a game, so we just play it the same way.
All right, awesome work today. Congratulations, and we'll see you in the next couple of games. Well done, Sammy.
Oh, I love it. Every team's got to have mean as shooters.
It's true. Every team does have. That's a standard colloquialism over here, Justin. You've been here a while. You must have heard a few mean asses.
Very, very good. Some of the young fans in here enjoying the action at the Schick Cup. And Casey, it's about to get serious because the pool play is now officially finished. All the teams have slotted in to a ranking in their pools, and we're about to see the crossovers starting shortly. And it is about to go to the next level because every player, all 128 of them, now know that it is game on.
There it is. The warm-up stage is over. It's the real deal now. And the teams that are able to have played on that razor's edge of being healthy, not putting in their full efforts, well, now's not the time. You got to leave it all on the court each and every time you get out there, ensuring that you can move forward, and that only happens with the wins. A lot of talent on display, a lot of players, a lot of teams are going to be fancying their chances coming in because it's still pretty wide open. I don't think there's going to be too many easy beats on either side of the draw, the men's or the women's.
Don't go away, folks. Those playoffs are about to commence right here on Sky Sport. Coming up after the break, our first crossover. The playoffs are up and going. The Whai and Pacifica taking on each other in the men's competition on the other side of the break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to ILT Stadium, Southland. The Whai and Pouakai Pacifica coming your way as the crossovers get underway. Justin Nelson and Casey Frank with you. Day 3, and all of a sudden after all the after all of the pool games, Casey, it now comes down to this, where these teams will be going up against each other. If you win, you effectively go up into the top 8 through the playoffs. If you lose, you are resigned to those classification games in the bottom 8.
That is right, and it's all dependent on what happened in the pool play. The Whai, the top team on their side, so they've got this matchup against Pouakai Pacifica. It's a tough ask for the Pacifica team, but you know, let's be honest right now. For Pouakai Pacifica, it's bigger than wins and losses. This is about laying the foundation for what they're trying to do for the basketball and the Pacifica community. Fantastic work they're doing. I do hope they come out and play at their best and can get something going here, because nothing like an unexpected upset to start things off.
Oh, and it would be an upset. There's the 2 lineups: Mitch Dance, Ty Wynyard, Tutuhi Lewis, and Zach McKenzie for the Whai. For Pouakai Pacifica, Emmanuel Ciale, Keowen Thompson, Obadiah Paya, and Sonny Afu. Talk to us a little bit about Ty Wynyard and his rise in the 3x3 game.
Well, Ty Wynyard, because of his size, is always going to be a handful. But as he's gotten himself back into great shape, he's become a much more of a handful offensively, because he's able to handle that load on both sides. He is a physical player. I mean, this is a kid that I remember at Tall Black Camp as a 15-year-old, and I was a long-tooth veteran by that point, and I was thinking to myself, I'm not sure I can keep this kid off the glass. You know, and that's a young fella. He's a man now. He's got that man strength, and he utilizes it to its full extent when he's out there on the floor.
Mitch Dance, we saw him just moments ago. There is Obadiah Paya.
No, let's not shortchange Mitch Dance in the strength department either. He's a player who's transformed his game as a junior from a power forward type, and really has been working on his offensive perimeter skill set the last couple of years, playing NBL 1 in the Melbourne region. Has really improved his game, has become a great scorer in that competition, but is fortunate for Whai fans back here to test his skills in the 3x3.
Here's an update for everyone with regards to the crossovers in the men's competition. Whai and Pouakai here. The Bulls will be taking on the Jets, the Nuggets against the Giants, Tuatara against Northland United, also the Sharks against the Rapids, the Airs and the Saints. How about that for a matchup? The Magic and Waikato, and the Rams and the Hawks.
Here we go. Let's get it started.
I'll give you the women in just a moment. Here is Thompson looking to get things started for Pacifica. Just got to stop in the game. We're going to get a reset.
The shot clock unfortunately went off after the change of possession, so we're just going to get a check up top to the Whai with about 8 seconds left on the clock, I would guess.
The women's crossovers, Casey, the Sparks and the Whai, that's coming up next after this game. Pouakai will play the Wizards, the Queens against Pouakai, the Kahu and the Rapids. Also through, or the matchups I should say, they're all through the matchups in the crossovers in the women's competition. Gold Rush and Phoenix, they're playing right now actually on Sky Sport 2. The Breeze and the Hoiho, that'll be a good game. Dream and the Storm, Thunder taking on Wellington.
Let's go. Let's go, teams. This is what it's all about. It's been fun up to this point, but until you get that pressure, that real pressure of we got to win this game, that's where things are formed. You know, that's the pressure. It busts pipes and it makes diamonds.
No score in this game as yet. The Whai up against Pacifica. Ty Wynyard with the rebound.
He's going to get a 3-second call, but the foul before that, as we saw the young fella, Tutuhi Lewis, drive into the cup.
Whai will get us back underway. There'll be some nerves out there, even though all of these teams have been going at it for 2.5 days. When you get to the business end, the nerves start to creep in. Wynyard gets us underway in this one, opening point for the Whai.
Well, anybody can play when there's no pressure on it. Anybody can make a jump shot when it doesn't really matter. But when it starts to matter, you got to make or miss, and that decides stay or go home. That's when things change. As we see an unfortunate turnover from Mitch Dance there. Well, he's giving Tatui Lewis, and it looked like it was his fault. That's the pass, brother. He launched that one high.
Missed him by a couple of metres there, Mitch. Here's Paya. Has Tatui Lewis right there with him. Strong stuff, and Tatui Lewis equal to the task there, able to get a hand on the attempt. Low scoring, fine. Just the 1 point.
That plays in Tuatara Pacifica's hands. If they can just start getting a little hotter. Nice drive there. Unfortunate on the finish when you're dominating the glass early.
Paya couldn't put it away. Wynyard now outside for Lewis. There's a foul in that rebounding battle on that occasion. McKenzie was involved. There he is, Zach McKenzie.
Zach McKenzie accepts it. I believe that one was on Paya.
Oh, Ty Wynyard. Oh, good hand.
hand.
Yeah, Ciali. Because Ty Wynyard was away.
He was about to rock that rim, no doubt about it. He was lining up for it, but lovely hand by Emmanuel Ciali there.
And a good lesson for youngsters there. Ty Wynyard put it in his right hand on the dribble next to Ciali, who was able to knock it clear.
Well, he's a big man, Justin. What do you expect? He can't dribble with both hands.
Oh,
come on, bro.
Written and spoken by Casey Frank. You know Ty Wynyard will watch this back later, don't you?
I don't know how worried he is about the film work on game one as Mitch Dance gets banged for the charge, dropping that shoulder on Ciali.
So now you're saying he hasn't got two hands and he doesn't watch film.
Well, he's too busy playing. It's all about the next one now. It's about the next one. Stop thinking my hole for me, Justin. I do enough of that myself.
The hole's, you do actually. The hole's getting bigger. Here's Sonny Afu. He goes over the top of Ty Wynyard. Pacifica still looking for their first point of this crossover. Here is Ty Wynyard showing his skills, showing both hands and getting to the hoop.
And showing me up with that comment about dribbling just a second ago. Ty Wynyard full of skills on display.
And that's the clip he will be watching back as Mitch Dance gets possession back now. He goes to the hoop and, well, a little bit of how do you do there between Mitch Dance and Kewan Thompson.
I love it. I love it. Mitch Dance giving a little look afterwards.
Bit of a chat there as well.
All in good fun. All in good fun. I got the 5 afterwards. If you don't get the 5, then something started. But you know, we got to exchange some skin. It's all good.
McKenzie to Dance. That one will come up short. Thompson with the rebound quickly out. Here's Paya in the corner attacking for Pacifica. Turnover. Lewis. Dance in the corner with some space. He goes dancing to the basket. Adds another one for the Whai.
And the Whai starting to take control of this game as that really physical defense at the start by Tuatara Pacifica. They've done a nice job of making things difficult for the Whai, but as the game goes on and the fatigue sets in just a bit, that becomes ever more difficult.
I know you are a fashionista, Casey Frank. The Whai uniforms have universally been
#1,
put up there as #1. You agree?
I agree. Well, the Whai white uniform, #1.
Yep.
That's at the top of my list. That thing is clean.
Yeah, Whai uniform, the white variety for me as well. Closely followed second by the Wellington Basketball women's black uniform.
You like the black? I like the gold.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the gold for the wellies. It's quite clean. And you know what? I think the sort of, I'm not sure, the reddish color of the Magic City.
Oh,
Magic.
yes.
I'm a big fan of that one as well. There's a few, though. There's, you know, what is it, 32 uniforms in total?
There is. There's a lot. Here's Tatui Lewis firing away for 2, and the Whai now have a 5-point lead as Pacifica still searching for their first score of this game.
Well, they hung their hat on tough physical defense early. Sonny, he can't get the punish.
Just foot on the line there for Ciali, who shakes his head.
Well, it's so difficult when all your hard work is going unrewarded, and fantastic to see the Tuatara Pacifica women come out with 3 wins out of the pool play. It's just unfortunate for the men. They weren't able to get over the hump.
Well, Ciali might have been shaking his head because he knew he had to go back and play defense against Ty Wynyard.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. It was about, I think it's been about a year since I had to guard him in Wednesday Night League up north, and every time I do, I am the worst for it.
Here is Mitch Dance. Short of the mark from the Sky Sports stripe. Sonny Afu.
Oh, good look. Nice play. Good set. Can we get the hit? Can't get it. But the follow right to the cup. Love the action. Unfortunate. Just enough defensive interference from Dance and Wynyard.
And Lewis
I've been impressed by Tatui Lewis. Hadn't known a lot about him coming in as Siali breaks the schneid, but it's broken right back. The quick heads-up play by Tatui Lewis, who I was just saying before, didn't know a lot about him coming in, but he's been pretty impressive. Shows a nice skill set.
Yeah, and this Whai team finished ranked #1 in Pool A, so they've been putting some impressive performances together so far through the Schick Cup. They've got their eyes on the prize. National Championship up for grabs here in New Zealand. That'll be coming your way tomorrow night on Sky Sport and right around the world through FIBA YouTube outside of New Zealand. We hope you're enjoying the coverage.
How could you not?
176 games of men's and women's 3x3. Ty Wynyard firing away. There's Paya. Ball on the floor. A little bit of a hesitation. Flicks it up off the glass. Ty Wynyard there to clean it up for the Whai. Mitch Dance puts it back in for Ty Wynyard. Reaching around. Thompson.
June Thompson, he took an elbow to the head on that one. As we see a replay of the missed jumper by Ty Wynyard.
Here is the big fella. Played a lot of international 3x3 basketball through 2022 for the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, I mean, under 18 world champ as well.
Yes.
You know, it's truly one of the innovators of the form of the game in New Zealand going back to that time. What a fantastic squad they had put together on that. One of a couple of world champ New Zealand 3x3 teams.
And was a part of that Airs team in the Sal's NBL as Mitch Dance drains the double. The Airs, of course, had a huge run this season. Brought the new Plymouth faithful to life. Minor champions. They couldn't go on with it, though. There's a foul called on Abadiah Paya.
Well, nice job. Go ahead and dunk it anyway, Zach McKenzie, because I wanted to see that as you take another look at the Mitchell Dance double. And 8 fouls now on Tavake.
Points have been hard to come by for Tavake Pacifica, but the fouls haven't.
Well, you can sort of see the strategy coming into this game was to be physical, as fast as you can, get this Whai team off their squad. And unfortunately, there's a certain level of physicality that is allowed, but if you keep on going to the well, it's going to run dry, and the refs are going to start blowing that whistle.
Tatui Lewis hammers another one in from that corner. 13-1 the margin now, and it looks like the Whai will be headed.
Foul called, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if the offensive fouls, do those lead to free throws from the Sky Sports stripe?
No.
No, they do not.
Back at the restart on the Schick logo. Yeah, the Whai headed through to the top 8 in playoffs, you would think.
Deep!
Oh, Tatui Lewis, how about his game here today?
Deep, but not too deep. Tatui Lewis putting it together, and an offensive superstar in this one.
Get the flaming emojis
It
out.
sets up so nicely. I'll set the table, you eat the food. Ty Wynyard.
Well, this Whai team is sending a message to the competition. Great through pool play. And in the crossover, undeniable stuff. They are ripping Tavake Pacifica apart. Have a look at this.
Shot clock issue takes away that attempt as we see the deep 2 from Tatui Lewis, and frustration from Kuhn Thompson as a shot clock issue takes away a wide open look from 2.
Tatui Lewis go with the double T Lewis?
You might as well, but you know, if you're a basketball player, you don't want to put anything in the ref's heads like you should give me 2 T's.
I wasn't thinking that, but anyway. Here's Thompson speaking of T's. Oh,
there we go.
Nice stuff.
Right, just a bit more of that would be what's required. He's a solid player, is Kuhn Thompson.
Here is double T. Let's see what he can do on this occasion. Into the corner for McKenzie. That one was a little bit too hot. Thompson goes searching here, has Wynyard in front of him. Heads past. Oh, Wynyard got a hand on that. He's pleading his case. Called for the foul, though.
We see the Thompson, 2 foot over the line. You see that was Sean Elliott-esque from a real hoop heads out there with the foot on the baseline, hovering over the line. As Q and Thompson and Mitchell Dance have a bit of a giggle. Love the private combos on court.
I've enjoyed watching Thompson through this Schick Cup.
Plays hard. He plays really hard, and I think I would consider him the most talented offensively of the group. Is McKenzie to the rim. 19 there, foul, and we're going to have a chance to seal it off at the Sky Sports stripe.
Huge hops there from Zach McKenzie.
He be athlete, this guy. Oh, so it's...
Well, they're going to get 2 in possession here because we've gone
to the
10th foul. Yeah, so McKenzie makes the first. He'll finish the game here if he makes this one.
Let's go ahead and finish it off. Zach McKenzie with a big game.
So once you get to the 10 team fouls, it is 2 and possession. The possession won't be needed, Casey Frank, because the Whai in their crossover contest against Pouakai Pacifica have put the pedal to the metal, 21-4.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, but that's a warning shot across the bow of all the other teams here. We are here to win it all, and they came out to play very well. Ty Wynyard, Tatui Lewis, Zach McKenzie, all excellent, but Mitchell Dance is over there with Nick Louis now.
Cheers, Casey, here with Mitch Dance. That was clinical from the Whai, in and out, job done, and now into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, bro, I think we just wanted to keep our intensity up and just make a statement in the early first round of the Sweet 16. So I think the boys did well to come out strong and keep going. So.
What's working so well for this Whai side so far, this Schick 3x3 Cup?
Yeah, I think we're just playing well as a team, eh? I think the first game kind of took us a little to adapt to everything. But we're working well, we're trusting each other, everyone on our team can hoop. So basically just, go on and have a bit of fun, bro, which is good.
How about Ty Wynyard?
Yeah, bro, wicked. I love playing with Ty, bro. Brings the energy, being a veteran and stuff, all to our, myself and the other 2 young fellas in the team. So, yeah, he's pretty handy to have on our team.
You either play the Sharks or the West Coast Rapids in the quarterfinals. You got a preference?
Either one, bro. We got to beat all the teams if we want to win the whole comp. So bring it on, whatever.
Good luck, man.
See you, bro. Thank you.
Good attitude there from Mitch Dance. Whai get the victory. And we're about to see the Whai women in action. Their crossover matchup against the Sparks is on the way. There it is, Sparks and the Whai. We'll head to the final 8, who will be relegated to the consolation finals. We'll find out on the other side of the break. Don't go away. Welcome back to ILT Stadium, Southland. We are up and going in the finals of the Schick 3x3 Cup. Women's action coming your way now on court 1, Sparks and the Whai, as we work our way down towards the end of this opening session on day 3. And then tonight, Friday night, can't wait to get going here. This place will be jumping as the finals continue here in Invercargill. Friday night is always a fun night for basketball in the Shark Tank. Justin Nelson, Casey Frank with you. Sparks and the Whai coming up, Case. The Sparks finished 4th in Pool B. They take on the Whai 5th in Pool A.
The Whai coming off a loss to finish that against a young Breeze squad. So they'll be looking for an improved performance. This is another young team that can come and bring the damage, and look for Maya Jones to do it.
For those following the men's competition here at the Schick Cup, the Sharks and the Rapids doing battle over on Court 2. That is Sky Sport 2. Have fun flicking between the two channels.
Maya Jones drives immediately, putting the pressure on right off the bat.
There's Honey Cooney out to Tuasui in the corner for 2.
And that will give the Phi some relief. Tuasui shooting the ball well. If they can get some of those 2-pointers to drop, that will really open up those driving lanes, force the Spark defense to extend themselves.
And almost a fortuitous matchup here in the crossovers, Casey, because these are the two teams that have been going with 3 players literally since the opening of the Schick Cup. They have both lost their 4th player.
Yeah, Misinuku's got that knee taped up, but certainly with a player with her future should be as careful as you can possibly be.
So I guess for this one, as Honey Cooney scores for the Phi, Tessa Morrison here on the little floater, they couldn't have possibly have hoped for a better matchup.
No, I think it's a turnabout is fair play. I think in this one, both teams stuck with 3. We'll see who's got the legs.
Tuasui here on the attack. She's fouled. She'll head to the Sky Sports stripe. Phi lead this one early, 3-1. Here's the drive from Honey Cooney.
Yeah, nice, lovely play there by Honey Cooney. And after that, we saw the big drive by Tuasui as Bessa Nesbitt knocked her to the ground. Sparks have slowed down offensively.
Here's Morrison.
Ooh, and a bit of touch there. Free throw line floater game.
Tell you the matchup to watch here is this one right now. Dom McBride and Maya Jones. McBride fires away. Oh, big shot from the American.
Just beating the shot clock as well. The Sparks have a response. They do. Nesbitt to the cup.
6-3. Honey Cooney. Quick release. There's McBride, who's fouled.
This is the best I've seen Dom McBride play this week. She is determined and focused to impact this ball game. Playing against a reasonably young team as a professional basketball player with Hill skill set. I like what I'm seeing from her right now.
She's come with a purpose, hasn't she? Speaking of purpose, Maya Jones.
Maya Jones again from deep, 5-7. Phi lead down to 2. Defense needed from the Sparks.
Tuasui, Nesbitt.
3 seconds to call. Had that foot in for just a bit too long. And now the Sparks have a chance to cut it to 1 or even it up.
Here's Morrison. Gets the screen of Nesbitt.
Oh, nice play.
Dumps it inside to Sabasa. Nesbitt scores.
Just really well executed with that full side open. Could pass it wherever she wanted.
Well, Honey Cooney made it through Nesbitt. Couldn't make it through Morrison. Held ball. In fact, was a foul called there.
Yeah, Timo playing some good D. Unfortunately, a bit much. I think I know not a foul called. Only 2 seconds on the shot clock, and the Phi don't get it. So they don't get it off on time. I think they were confused as you were, thinking it was a foul call, but it was just a change of possession. So short shot clock gives the Sparks a chance to even it up here.
Nesbitt reaching in. Hot hands there from Blue Tuasui. There is Sabasa Nesbitt. All 6 players here on the court have had to play a lot of basketball over the last 2.5 days. Neither team has had any substitution.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy with 6 total between 2 teams that need 6 on the court.
Nesbitt now. Morrison, steps around Tuasui, dumps it off for Nesbitt.
Oh my. Oof. That was dropping the hammer for Tuasui.
Well, if you thought scoring was hard enough, it gets a little bit harder when you've got to give somebody a piggyback.
No doubt about it. That is one move I will not try myself.
Sabasa Nesbitt converts, and hey, we're all tied up here. 7 apiece.
Oh, nice job by Cooney to crash in as she got forgotten about on the box out.
We did say it was going to go up a level in the crossovers. Dom McBride, nice move to the bucket.
Yeah, going to the right hand, little half hook shot, half push shot. When it goes in, Maya Jones short shot clock.
And as you can see here,
McBride attacking Maya Jones, who can do nothing but smile about it.
Well, Don McBride is a defensive specialist. We know that, the American. What a matchup.
Just one on the clock for Maya Jones here.
And Don McBride gets a second block in seconds. Tuasui wasn't aware of what was going on, and possession fell to the Whai, and
she heard the horn.
Well, she decided to walk away with the ball.
She heard the horn. She thought it was a shot clock violation, but it was possession to them. Took a couple steps, travel called. Maya Jones with a bit of an easier defensive assignment here.
Yeah, and she picked that up straight away. Good foul in the end by Honey Cooney.
So I've been really impressed by Maya Jones in this week, despite my jokes at her father's expense. The way that she's taking this defensive attention at her age, playing through it, with nary a negative word to say, has been really impressive showing of her mental makeup.
Tessa Morrison getting creative there. Oh, Sabasa Nisbet won't get it up in time.
Well, tremendous defense on a few possessions here by the Whai, as the Sparks are finding it ever more difficult to crack the code offensively.
Coming up next, crossover, men's Bulls and Jets. That one not too far away. Here's Nisbet going to work on McBride, who locks her up.
Foul
but he's
call.
called for the foul, yeah.
On the floor before the shot. It's got to be enjoyable to not be able to have any personal fouls to foul out. Just go ahead and use it up if you want to.
It is one of the rules in the game that always makes your eyes light up, Casey Frank. Here's Morrison. Did all the hard work, found herself underneath the basket though, and that may open up an opportunity here for the Whai. McBride misses. Jones, just like that, in a flash, she fires away and misses. The battle continues underneath.
Wow. Physicality on tap.
Morrison now for two.
Oh, good look at it. Short shot clock going down. Dawn McBride, she is laying the wood out there. Oh, great hand, Timo. Tessa Morrison getting a hand on Tuasui.
Here is Blue Tuasui. And we'll get a restart here from the Schick logo.
Tessa Morrison has done a really nice job defensively with the McBride matchup, giving up a bit of size, but tons of fight in her game.
And again, they're caught by the shot clock here, the Whai, so lack of communication. It's happened a couple of times. Close contest here, long way to go. Whai by one. Jones. I think Don McBride maybe got a hand on that.
Yeah, I think so as well. She's really affecting the shots not making of Jones.
And passing as well, McBride to Tuasui.
Good cut by Tuasui, making herself available for the finish.
Whai by two.
If I'm the Sparks, I'm calling timeout. You got to find a way to set some screens for Maya Jones and get her involved. Can't ask her to keep playing this one-on-one game.
Tuasui left it behind. Nisbet couldn't hit from outside, but how about the follow?
Love the work rate, love the work rate. Sees, if you're the shooter, you know right away if it's good or bad. She did, she followed up nicely.
Margin at one. Don McBride pleading a case for a foul there.
1 second on the shot clock now. Timeout goes to the Whai, I believe. And so they will realize there's only 1 second left on the clock when they come back in. No? Are they going to say, well, the shot clock has been reset to 12. I really hope that they're not going to keep possession with the Whai, and that means that they think that Maya Jones didn't touch it.
Your thoughts on the contest overall so far, Case?
This is what you expect in finals basketball. Hard fought, physical. We've seen an uptick in the strategy and the skill from both teams.
Coming up next, the crossover playoff action continues with the Bulls and the Jets to finish us off for this opening session on day 3. Sparks ball. They're down by 1. Maya Jones stepping back on Cooney. In the end, defense wins out. Here is Honey Cooney. McBride. Cooney inside Tuasui, some work to do. Steps back to her right. What a finish.
Great footwork shown there as Tessa Morrison has the open look from deep and nails it to tie it up as the Sparks refuse to go away.
Great contest, this one. Cooney from the G.J. Gardner Homes logo.
Oh, almost had an open look. Great hand by Tuisui there.
Well, Morrison had a look from the TAB logo, got on the drive. Nisbet caught a ball. Morrison, no.
Oh, lovely basketball. What a pass by Tessa Morrison.
That is hot. That is hot.
Man, Tessa Morrison is having an effect on this ball game, offensively, defensively. Love the pass, love the unselfishness.
Well, that is one of the plays of this opening session on day 3, and just like that, Honey Cooney responds.
What a back and forth battle. Whai up 1. Nisbet with a beautiful drive, the crossover, and the steal by Jones. The Sparks locked in. Can Nisbet save it again? She cannot.
Well, it's gone up a level, no question. Everything on the line here. Schick replay. There's the Honey Cooney. Big double.
Well, it's all about knowing who you want to have the ball in hand right now. Who's going to be able to really affect their strategy the best? Because Cooney can't get that one to go, but Dawn McBride on the glass. Look at that fight from Nisbet.
She only needs the blink of an eye, Maya Jones.
What effort by her teammates to get her the ball, and Dawn McBride with the, look at the physicality creeping in, a little bit of nerves and anger as well.
Well, Dawn McBride said, look at this.
Well, it was the effort by Nisbet on the glass first, the quick pass, and just the knowledge by Tessa Morrison that my shooter's on the wing. She's finally got a look. I got to get it to her quick. I mean, you love to see players mentally on a string like that. When it pulls in one direction, they all go with it.
Dawn McBride said coming in that she'd never played 3x3 before. You can see her there, crouched over, gasping for air. She sure knows what 3x3 is about now.
Doesn't take long to understand I'm going to get hacked, I got to get through it, and I got to get these lungs up to speed.
I'll tell you what's impressive, the quick release and accuracy of Maya Jones is quite incredible, isn't it?
She is a gun. Well, I mean, what's most impressive to me, she's a good player, she's got the skills, that's there, but her mentality as a scorer at this age to play against grown women and still be getting done what she's getting done.
And there she is, big rebound. She goes again, a little bit of space here, she fires away, and that wasn't too far away either.
Yes, Tuisui had the hand down, almost gave up a 2 because of it.
Sparks by 2.
Oh, big shot.
I take it back. We're level to Asui.
Maya Jones aware that she doesn't really want to attack that matchup against McBride.
Honey Cooney turns defense into offense for McBride.
Maya Jones just dropped her head off the ball for a second, gave McBride the chance to get out open on the wing.
5 by 1. Morrison, big block to Asui.
Excellent help, and McBride now on the weak side. Tuisui with the drive, Jones denies it.
McBride for 2. 2 minutes to play, Case, 2 minutes to play, here we go.
These teams are both so tired, you can see it now. They put so much into this ball game in the week, and you can see it's really having an effect here in the latter half of this one.
McBride digs deep. Goes up, gets it back, hard to the basket. What a play from Dawn McBride.
And the 2-point lead now. Neither team has a timeout. It's just going to be them on the court from here on. Nisbet just not enough space. McBride does well to force her underneath the glass for that attempt.
5 by 2. And I'll tell you what's good. The Whai men are on the baseline at the moment, and they are cheering every bit of play here for their women's team.
Then we see the follow by Dawn McBride of her miss. She makes up for it with a left-hand layup after the all-board.
How good is it to see that, to see the men's team here cheering on the Whai women?
Got some Whai pride hanging out between codes.
Oh, McBride, this would be huge!
Not an easy shot. Looks good when she makes it like that.
Oh, wow.
Maya Jones, does she have the answer? Needs to get up quick. 2 seconds on the shot clock.
18-14. They may be beaten here. That won't go up in time. So the Whai get it back. 3 points away from victory. A minute to play. Foul, Maya Jones.
Well, good foul there. Gives them a chance to reset as we see the beautiful, what may be the nail in the coffin of the Sparks' quest for a title.
Cooney. McBride. Looks inside. To Asui. Jones to Asui. Outside. Cooney's got to fire away. That won't count.
Well, great defense when they needed it most. The Sparks are tired, man. Look at, they are pumped.
They're still in it, though.
This is the longest I've seen a team get to the check this week. But all it takes is 1-2, 1-2, and they're right there. And we know Maya Jones can do it late.
She's with the ball right now. Tessa Morrison in the corner. Look at Honey Cooney. Look at Tessa Morrison. Miss.
The Sparks just don't have the energy to help her out and follow up on the glass. The Phi look well in control now.
Honey Cooney, McBride underneath on the rebound. Maya Jones all over it. Oh, was that a block?
That looked so clean.
Foul's being called.
Oh my, that looked clean. She had obviously a lot of body contact, but I thought Maya Jones timed that really well. That looks like a clean block to me.
Maya
in
Jones
the 3 game.
ripped that out of her hand like my granddaughter ripping a present off me on Christmas Day.
Excellent timing defensively. Oh, nice job. Set up off the play. Can Tessa Morrison get it? She can't. Nesbitt with the foul.
6th team foul for the Sparks. Phi within 2 of victory.
Not going to the free throw line. That is team foul number 7. Pardon me. So
it is 2. Yeah, you're right.
It is free throws from here on out. Dawn McBride can bring the Phi up to 20 points on this one.
What a contest this has been. This is playoff basketball here at the Schick Cup. And the good news is that this is what we're going to see later on today from 5 p.m. Nighttime action here at ILT Stadium Southland. If you're in the local area, make sure you get down and have a great night out. The biggest party in town here in Invercargill. And all playoff action tomorrow, both sessions, day and night. 2 national champions to be crowned tomorrow evening right here on Sky Sport. Second shot coming up from the Sky Sport line and a chance
for the game
for the Phi to win their way through to the top 8. How about Dawn McBride in this game? In fact, we may have a bit of a blood rule here. We do. She's going to swap singlets. Missy Nuku, who's been sitting on the sidelines watching on with her knee injury, gladly rips her singlet off and gives it to Dawn McBride.
I got to say, bit of a size difference. I hope that jersey's big enough. It's looking a bit tight.
We're about to see. Here she is for the win. The Phi. Dawn McBride gets it. What a game, Casey Frank.
I love the mentality of this Phi squad. Certainly amongst the short list of favorites coming in. They persevered today. But a tip of the cap to the Sparks, who, from my eye, just ran out of juice in the end. They played extremely valiantly, but you could see the heavy legs and the heaving lungs down the stretch of that one. Unfortunately for them, when they needed it most, they pressed on the pedal. There just was no acceleration left in the gas tank.
There is Missy Nuku and Maya Jones, great friends. 2 rising stars of New Zealand basketball. Can't wait to see them progress in the years ahead. What a win for the Phi. That was big stuff. Bulls and Jets not too far away. I think we're going to catch up with one of the Phi stars in just a moment.
Yeah, Nick Booley's out there trying to find somebody to chat to.
I think we were going to try and get Dawn McBride. She did have an issue under the blood rule, so I think she's just taking care of business.
Just bleeding a little bit out of the mouth right before she does this interview. Come on in. Unfortunately for Dawn McBride, she's trying to get there. She's on her 3rd jersey now because Missy Nuku's was so small. She had to take it off.
She's been through the whole team.
It's been a grinder. We'll give her time to get her jersey on, and now she's over there with our man Nick.
Cheers,
now.
Casey. Dominic McBride, you just put on about your 3rd different singlet. You got blood streaming out of your nose, but you got the job done into the quarterfinals.
Sorry, like you just said, blood running down my nose. It's total team effort. We needed this win more than anything. We've had a low run, lost 4 games in a row, but this is how you bounce back. Everyone was here today. We had Missy on the sideline who's been injured, really talking to us. Everyone stepped up today, and that's exactly what we needed for a good win.
So physical out there, this young Nelson Sparks. They've been undermanned as well, down to just 3. We just had to keep getting the shots up, getting that rhythm going.
Yeah, incredible team. They fought to the end, made it physical for us, and we know we pushed back. They have great shooters. Maya Jones, great shooter, but we were able to stick with it and get it done.
Whai on the men and the women through to the quarterfinals. Look forward to seeing more from you and the rest of the team in the final 8.
Thank you. It was good. Go Whai.
That is a tough job for the manager of the 5 squads right now.
All right, quick break here. On the other side, we continue the playoff action between the Bulls and the Jets. That's coming your way next, right here on Sky Sport. Welcome back to ILT Stadium. Southland finals action here in the Schick Cup. We're headed back to the men's competition now. A spot in the quarters is up for grabs between the Bulls and the Jets. Let's get underway. Justin Nelson and Casey Frank with you. The Whai in the men's competition are through to the quarters already. They will be taking on the Sharks. Keep an eye out on that one. Opening score goes the way of the Jets, and we are underway. There's the 2 lineups for this one.
Josh Ledger's strong move as Musili was unfortunate in that mismatch there, but goes for the foul immediately.
Yeah, we can confirm, Case, that the Whai and the Sharks in the men's competition are through to the quarters. That'll please the locals no end.
Most definitely, as we see Nick Cawthorn.
Nick or James?
James Cawthorn. I've got his name.
He's got a brother.
I've been told by our fellow commentator Nick Fee, I've gotten his name wrong quite a few times this week, so I'll try and get it correct from now on.
Nick Fee or Nick Bewley?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, you're a classic. 3 apiece. I'm convinced you did that on purpose, though. Oh, Chris Martin.
Quick action early in this one. 3 points apiece. As James Cawthorn finds Salmon in the corner with a big double there. And both teams really locked in on this one. Jets really looking locked.
Yeah, nice start by the Jets, but Martin is answering pound for pound and gets it back here in the corner.
Chris Martin is playing so good now. He is drinking deeply from the zone. Back-to-back 2s and one after the steal.
12 points scored already, make it 14.
Oh my goodness, a minute 15. This might be the best offensive display we've had all week.
Oh, here we go. Foul, Josh Ledger to the Sky Sport stripe. How about that for a start?
That was extremely impressive. Shot for shot for shot for shot. And the only one that missed was off of a foul. Ledger to the line at the Sky Sport stripe to try and get one.
Man, while we're busy giving everybody about 10 different names, these guys are firing away.
I appreciate you saying we on that one. That was definitely in the royal sense. That was just on me there. Apologies, James and the Cawthorn family.
Here's Jaden Bazant. I think maybe Ledger pulled up there for 3 in the key. It was. So chance goes begging for the Bulls. We saw them in action a short time ago in this session, and
we heard Jaden Bazan. It was all about keeping fit. We didn't want to use up the energy, but the game was not that long ago, and a beautiful finish there.
Gee, Jimmy Cawthorn's come to play in this one for the Jets.
He's a physical player. I like his style in this matchup. He's had a few good moments, most definitely in this tournament.
Jet Thompson scores for the Bulls. We're tied up at 8 apiece. Early stages in this one. Don't worry about the time. It's all about the points. Ledger on Robertson there.
A nice find inside. Ledger with the finish. Jaden Bazant seeing the whole floor as Musili answers quickly for the Jets, but can't find the measure.
Musili, well known now after yesterday's biggest Falcon in Schick 3x3 basketball history.
It was a solid one.
I saw him at breakfast and he was all smiles, having a good laugh about it. Here he is, Musili. Searching, shot clock down to 4 to 3. Jet Thompson locks it up. Great defense, Jet Thompson.
Jet Thompson locked in. I love calls like that. It's just right on the precipice of being too physical, of being a foul, but Jet Thompson, 2 hands on the ball, forces a change of possession. With the Bulls looking at a 1-point lead.
Bazant and Martin on the floor for the first time together in this game for the Bulls. Look out. Thompson wants to go it alone on Musili, and he does that. Gets the little ride to the basket, but not the drop.
Oh, nice hand by Salmon, and a 3 or 2 in the corner for him now.
Here's Bazant.
He loves this
He's
isolation.
a master. He's a master at this sort of stuff.
Well, he's just got that really nice little double crossover that he creates a lot of space with. Doesn't get the bucket there, but Musili tries his luck and finds himself with 3 sevens. Lucky up with the 2.
Gets the Jets the lead as well. They're out by 1 as Bazant fires away over Robertson. Battle out of play. Which way is it going to go? The officials will have a chat.
They're going to discuss it. Sub coming in. Don't know who's walking. Oh, look, Jets ball.
10-9. The playoff action continues tonight here at ILT Stadium at Southland. Both courts, court 1 and 2, 2 channels in action on Sky Sport. Make sure you rejoin us from 5 p.m. local time here in New Zealand. Jimmy Cawthorn on the restart, couldn't score. Here he is playing defense on Thompson. Thompson putting the Jets on, can't finish. Second effort is very nice.
Oh, good follow. Jet Thompson, he gets his nose to the grindstone. He does not mind the contact. In fact, looks for it. Lovely pass by Cawthorn there. Just could not find the feet. And Robertson was trying to back up.
Cawthorn on the buzzer. Gets it back. Has Ledger in front of him. Doesn't matter. Goes over the top. Jimmy Cawthorn.
He is playing well right now. As the Jets build a 2-point lead, Chris Martin lets that one fly a little quickly. And now the Jets, James Cawthorn, a chance to build. Does he hit it? He does!
Jimmy! Jimmy, how about that? Here's the Schick replay.
That's the first one. That was beautiful with the little step back, creating that space. Then he heads to the bench. I don't know, if I'm his teammates, I'm like, hey, why don't you stay out here for a bit?
Next whistle, he's back in, no doubt about it, as Bazant comes up short.
Well, just the classic dry the hands after shooting the air ball. It must have been a little bit moist on that one. Got to get that grip down. 5:42 in this one, and the Jets back-to-back 2s to build this 4-point lead.
Well, the Jets finished 6th in their pool. The Bulls finished 3rd. Wow.
Salmon, Clyde Salmon, he's got a couple of 2s himself in this one, and that one is pure.
They're out by 6.
Well, it happens quick. That's 3 straight 2s that have built this lead from the tie game, and looking to build on it here. As Robertson.
Unconscious stuff from the
4 in a row
Jets.
for the Jets.
Ledger claws 1 back, but the Jets lead this by 7.
And you know you can't trade 1s for 2s, but the Jets looking to get another nice defense there. Robertson and Martin tied up, ball to the Bulls.
Man.
No, is a timeout coming? No, just a sub.
No, I think timeout, you're right.
Good time for a timeout.
You did say, Casey, expect upsets in these crossovers, and we might be on the verge of seeing the first one right here.
Because coming in, the Bulls were playing as good a basketball as anyone, but it's all about that 2-ball. If you can get a little bit hot, as we just saw from the Jets, you can take command of games.
And they're all doing it. All four of the Jets are landing big blows from outside.
Everybody's having a touch. Touch them all, Jets. Touch them all.
Underway again. Don't worry about the time. It's all about that score ticking over. They get it back. Hot hands for Musili. Here's Salmon and another. The Jets, he gets it back. Oh, great defense. Here they go. Jimmy Cawthorn.
Finish
the
game.
floor.
Finish the game. Great block. Don't give up, Jaden Bazant.
22-11.
Oh, finish it with that. Oh, my goodness. Stop it, stop it, stop it. This game is insane.
Oh, that is just out of this world.
Nobody go near the Jets from the Manawatu because they are on fire. You will get burned. Look at that shot. It is pure as a driven snow. Oh my goodness, what a performance. The Bulls, no shame in that game. They just ran into a buzzsaw.
Man.
They was on fire.
Casey Frank.
Man, oh man, what a game from this Jets squad.
What have we just seen?
We saw an offensive explosion from this Jets squad. Man, they're shooting the ball well. Even James Cawthorn comes over. He gave me the MJ. He gave me the MJ shrug like, don't know, man. Don't know.
Oh, incredible stuff.
That performance. Oh, my goodness. Klein Salmon, unbelievable with those last two finishes, but what a job by the Jets there.
The man you called Nick, known as Jimmy Cawthorn.
Stop bringing up my mistakes.
Here he is with Nick Bewley.
Cheers, Justin and Casey here with Jimmy the Jet Cawthorn. You just caught fire from beyond the arc, man. Huge upset. How good was that?
Mate, bloody good, bloody good. The boys have been saying we just need one game to catch fire, and yeah, seemed to be that one, so it was an awesome win. Proud of the lads.
Couldn't buy a win on day one, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. What has been the key for this Jets side? The perimeter shooting, of course, has been huge.
Mate, well, that's the thing with 3-on-3. Any team can catch fire and just win a game, so we've just been telling the boys to stick with it. Really proud of the way we just keep persevering, so yeah, really proud, man. It was awesome.
How about yourself? Nothing but nylon and few from beyond the arc. It's got to feel good.
Oh, it's about bloody time, mate. Just got to keep going now.
We'll put the feet up, man. Enjoy the quarterfinal actions to come.
Oh yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Great stuff. He's a ripper. Look at that team there. The Jets still practicing his shooting there.
Pumped.
Ben Robertson.
That squad is pumped. They are excited about the way that finished, and what a performance.
And it was all
by
of them.
The Jets. Oh my goodness. Oh, every single one. And that is what it takes to overcome a team that you know you're not the favorite of. Play like that.
I'm not sure if we've got that replay on that last shot that we can bring back up. But what a finish that was for the Jets. Here it is. The Schick replay. Look at that.
Just pure, man. So pure.
Did you see the look on the faces of the Bulls?
They were dejected.
Really?
They were dejected.
Really?
As you would be. They've been playing good basketball. They've been having a great time. The camaraderie has been excellent. But, yeah, I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. Every once in a while on the basketball court, you run into a buzzsaw, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. It just gets so difficult, and unfortunately, because of the speed of that game, you're going to be stuck talking to me and Justin for a while now as we dissect what happened with that one. Man, it's all coming together here, though, as we've gone from pool play to the crossovers and the Jets putting themselves target on their back with shooting like that.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, as you know, James Cawthorn said, we just knew we've got to get hot in one game, and that just happened to be it. And they're going to carry that form into their next final. It's going to be a quarterfinal. So this is what's unfolded so far in the playoffs. The crossovers that we've seen here on court one. The Whai in the men's competition defeated Pouakai. And then we saw the Sparks and the Whai in the women's competition put on a great game. Got to tell you, that was a lot of fun. The Whai got the win there, so they go through to the quarters as well. And then just then, the Bulls and the Jets.
Man, and that for me, I think is my game of the week. I don't think I've had a more fun time calling a game than watching that scoring explosion. And it was from start to finish. The Bulls, they were right there to start, but all of a sudden, man, when you're starting to fire with a little bit of petrol, it burns quick.
Really quick, especially when you're spraying it on there as quickly as the Jets were. I can tell you on court number 2, Sky Sport 2 action at the moment. The Breeze and the Hoiho are locked in a really tense battle. You can see that one in the background there. Coming up tonight, make sure you rejoin us from 5 here on court 1. More playoff action, more crossovers, Casey. Here's what's on the menu on court 1 in the women's. Pouakai up against the Wizards, the Queens against Tavake, and the Kahu against the Rapids. In the men's competition on court 1 tonight, the Nuggets and the Giants, the Tuatara and United. All of those battles are for a place in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of basketball coming up, and it is we've already seen the increase in intensity, the increase in intention and intention. to these games from these teams, that now that they're here, the basketball counts where wins and losses really have some meaning. It's been impressive what we've seen from the teams that have locked in and put themselves in position to win games, and I think the quality is only going to increase.
Playoff action early in session 2 tonight on court 2. Men's Airs and Saints.
Oh, that's a good one. Airs playing great basketball. Scotty Telfer, Ben Carlisle-Smith doing well. Derek Albertson, of course, that Taranaki Airs side playing extremely well. And the Saints, disappointing to start. Didn't play their best basketball, but as things have come along, we've seen the effect of Dane Samuel, what he's done down in the post and from deep. Nathaniel Salmon on that squad. We've seen Kenneth Tuffin as well, Johnny Hilu. They've really come together just a little bit, but another one where the scales of justice could go either way.
Magic and the Waikato Uni also playing tonight in the men's on court 2. Rams and the Hawks. How about that for a matchup?
Rams and Hawks is going to be a tough one. The Rams had been playing great basketball, only eventually succumbed to the victory at the to a loss at the very end. So only one loss on the week against the Hawk squad that, I've been talking to Jared Kenny, I've been talking to Ethan Rusbatch. They've been saving something in the tank.
Oh, yeah,
they've
no
been
doubt
saving
about
something.
that.
Now, the question is, when you save something, are you doing yourself a disservice when you get there? Have you not gotten yourself up to speed like everybody else?
Yep.
But we'll find out the answer today.
And early stages in session 2 tonight on court 2 in the women's crossover matchups. The Dream will be playing the Storm, and the Thunder up against that Wellington team that features Malama Lapepe.
She's been playing so well. Her physicality when she's got the ball in hand, scoring the basketball, has been extremely impressive. And, I can't wait for the next one. On the other sessions, I was trying to get a little breath, but I'm energized by that Jets win, man. I want to do another one right now.
That was great. Action tonight from 5. Court 1 will be on Sky Sports Select. Court 2 will be on Sky Sport 2. It is all a part of the 2022 Schick 3x3 Cup. 176 games, 32 teams, 128 players. It's been so much fun. And if you're a Jets fan, wow, you're going to love watching that one back many, many times. That was awesome. That's going
to give some of the Jets fans certainly something to talk about for a while. But there's more to come from them.
Absolutely.
That is the kind of win, that's the kind of play that really inspires you when you go to the next one. You can feel it, and you want to get out there as soon as you can.
Well, on that, let's look down the barrel of the camera and say, hey, hope you've enjoyed it. Join us tonight for Session 2, Day 3 here at the Schick Cup. We'll see you then.